Yo, what's up, everyone? Rocco's in the chat saying late. The only reason we were late was because your partner in crime was talking one of my co-hosts' ear off about whiskey for a long time. We love you, Campbell, but that's the only reason. We were all in here for the last 10 minutes.
Man, I can't wait to go hang out with Campbell. It's bourbon. We got kids about the same age. Like we almost went full stepbrothers.
Nick, how old are you?
I am going to be 44 in August.
So am I.
You guys are the same age.
You have a
don't remember
12-year-old.
this?
That's crazy to me.
I also am very.
I mean, so you had a kid at 32.
Yeah, I guess it's not.
If you had a kid at 32.
When
You act like he has a 22-year-old. Jesus, he could have a 24-year-old.
I don't feel like
late,
an adult.
I'm
I
late.
make adult decisions. I make adult mistakes, but I still don't feel like an adult.
So check this out, Storey. I got a cousin. Total side note. Sorry to rob the pod, but I got a cousin same age as me. Great grandma. That's how we roll in my redneck ass family.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, what state is she in? Alabama?
Wisconsin. She's 44, and her daughter was the first one to make it out of high school in 18 before she had a kid. But then they kept just like rolling after that, dude. And I'm like, what were you guys?
Alabama of the North.
The age of my kids, like it's unbelievable.
Is her name Jemima?
Look at this. This is Laurence Olivier and Othello. And this is James Earl Jones. Now look at how close they look.
Look at that. James Earl Jones doing a great blackface.
James Earl Jones has a black face. He's a black man.
He's not black.
Of course he's black.
He was Darth Vader.
Darth Vader was black?
No.
See, okay, there we go.
Darth Vader was not black. They took the mask off. He was white.
Outstanding.
Anyways, we have the Dynasty recap show today, gentlemen, and this is 3 weeks in the making because the draft took literally 3 weeks. A slow draft, hell of a time. I know it seemed a little grueling at times with some of the picks, but that's what
I was
a slow draft
disappointed
is, and I was
with
all
the
for it.
computer auto picks. I'm not gonna lie, man. Any of the people in this league that let the CPU auto pick after 4 hours, not just auto pick for your queue, computer auto pick, y'all can need a bag.
All right, so got people asking what the rundown is. Jay, you are on next. So Nico's going to stick around for a while. Us three are going to be on here because these are the two best co-hosts in the history of the world. And then Jay is up after we do Nico and Tom's team. Dakota, I have you penciled in for 10:45 Central, so 11:45 your time. I sent the list. Go to the sleeper chat. I have the list there, the estimated times. I'll shout you guys out when to join the stream, and then I'll get you in the actual stream, and we'll talk about your team. So we're going to start with Nick O's team. Let's get right into it, shall we?
Let's dance.
Now, Nico, your co-host Tom, we've seen Tom TD. He's only been on a few times. He's going to be the regular Friday night guy once a season rolls around. Very smart individual, very handsome individual. And you two know ball, so can't wait to get into your team. But he can't make it tonight, so you are representing both of you guys. So also, Nick, give him the O face. Can you show him the O face?
You know what I'm talking about. Oh.
Things go well, I might be showing her my O face. Oh. You know what I'm talking about. Oh.
Okay, so we have to figure out exactly how we want to do this, but I think I have a good idea for draft grades. So we will, let's see, I got to figure out the best view. Is it this one? It is this one. That is probably the best view. Let me see if this one's better. There we go. That's better. All right. So without further ado, this is Tom and Nick O's team here. You got to change your name to something with the O face, right? First and foremost, can we do that?
Oh man, I made him manager. I'm co-manager. It's at whatever, but we did the what is it? 2 in the slot and 1 in the tight end. I thought it was pretty clever, man. I thought that would fit our audience.
That's a sex joke. Story, do you approve that name?
I'm not going to begrudge anybody their name, however they feel. I mean, it is a dirty joke, but it's pretty tame in comparison to some of the ones I've heard over the years.
It's essentially the shocker, which is the 2 and the 1. I don't know how to do it. It's some weird, it's like a gang symbol. A sex gang symbol is a shocker. I don't know anything about that. I do know that Nico and Tom's team has a lot of draft picks in the future. Let's run down this squad. So, Nico, run through it for us here. Start with the starting lineup. Give us your general plan, because you guys have a lot of picks. So looking real quick, you have 2 firsts in next year's rookie draft. You have 4 seconds and 2 thirds. So what is that?
That's 25% of next year's draft is what that is.
But no
so you
eight.
guys are all in on next year.
No
next
eight.
year. 08, you have nothing in nothing in 08. So you are all in on next year's draft, and you are kind of doing a rebuild, but you think you have a chance to win now. Let's start there and then go through your roster.
We're competitive, and we really like the 27 draft. I think the 27 draft is one of the strongest that's come out in a minute. I wanted to build a solid team in 26. As far as 2028 goes, I always that's next year's problem, right? Is how I look at that. I'm one, I tend to push things off and I procrastinate, if I'm being honest, and I perform well under pressure after I procrastinate. But 28, we're going to be able to move around this year. We're going to be able to move around in next year's draft and add some 28 capital. So not a problem. As much as I hate to say it, it's almost like the Rams approach, right? Like you're just not worried about next year. You're going to take care of this year, even though I'm not in a sellout to win now team. We got some good youth. I feel like running backs are they're fragile. They don't have a long shelf life, but they're also hard to trade for in Dynasty. And in a 1 PPR league like we have with 3 receivers, 2 flexes, wanted to have enough there. And the plan, if I'm being honest, the plan was to hammer receiver early, but the board didn't fall that way. And you cannot just stick to your plan. You got to zig when other people zag. You got to make some moves. End of the day, we gave up our entire 28 draft and a 4th round pick this year for all of that 27 capital. I feel like we did a really good job moving around multiple times and didn't hurt us much in the startup and then didn't hurt us much in the build. And we're going to be in a position to, I think, move up, because I'm not going to have a top 5 pick next year, but be in a position to move up and go get a Jeremiah Smith and just stack my receivers. When you push the guys that I have down a spot, and you're looking, my wide receiver 3 is Tedero McMillan, and I'm flexing Pearsall. That's a pretty nice presumption for next year. But as far as this year goes, Jalen Hurts starting at quarterback. He's been a top 10 quarterback every single year that he's been a starter in Philly. Doesn't matter who the coordinator's been, the rushing yards, the touchdowns. Even if you take the tush push away, the sneak is still an option. And with Mannion at OC there, former quarterback, a younger dude, fresh eyes on the team and on the league. I think you're going to see a little bit of a resurgence from Philly. I'm not scared about A.J. Brown leaving because you brought Lemon in. I think Saquon's going to have a bit of a bounce back year, and you're not going to be able to just stack and stop Hurts. So he's going to have his rushing upside and still be a top 10 quarterback. Chase Brown and PPR.
Hold on, let me stop you real quick. I got to get Story's take on this, because Jalen Hurts was probably the steal of the draft, honestly, because we wanted either Hurts or Patrick Mahomes because where they were falling. And I went to Mahomes just based on the 6 for a passing touchdown. And Mahomes is, going to eventually be he's going to age into a very good pocket passer. And I don't know about Hurts' longevity, but he's not the oldest guy in the world. And you're going to have 4 or 5 good years from Hurts, most likely. Story, you love the Hurts pick, and you just love Jalen Hurts, right?
I do love Jalen Hurts. I think for fantasy, he is being undervalued this year. To get him in the 9th round in a dynasty league is a super good value. That is, I believe it's one of the best values of the entire draft. I not a huge fan of the potential for him getting hurt long term, but he as a running quarterback, he's one of the smarter ones out there. I think he's gonna have a long shelf life, relatively speaking. So props to you guys to get him at the very end of the single digits.
We did. We waited, and he was the 12th quarterback off the board. We were the 11th team to take our starting quarterback, and to get a guy like Hurts who hasn't finished past quarterback 9 at that point, the value was too great. I felt like it was a bit of a steal as well. So I appreciate your story.
Just sorry to interrupt, Nick, but just for context, Lawrence went 1 round before, half a round before. Herbert went 2 rounds before, which I think is really aggressive. Dart went around before Herbert did. So this was a smart play. You guys holding back and waiting and letting the draft come to you.
Lawrence and Purdy went to the same team at the turn, and I love his future, and he's squared away, and he's got young guys with high upside. I don't hate Lawrence and Purdy, but you're spending 2 picks at the turn, where I waited until after that and was able to grab Hurts and put a couple guys on the bench. I don't hate either, but we'll get to them in a little bit.
All right, so give me your running back rundown. There's a guy here, Travion Henderson, who I absolutely despise. Now, in Dynasty, I see the hope more than this year. This year is still a mystery box. What are we going to get? Is it going to be 50-50? I think 50-50 at best. And then it should be his job in the coming years. What are your hopes for TreVeyon Henderson this year, though?
Pull the Family Guy clip, right? Where it could be anything. It could even be a boat, right?
Yeah.
So
it could even be Ramondre Stevenson, but
yeah. The logic here is, in all honesty, Trevo was his ADP was up there. Like he was right there with the running backs in the 3rd round. We didn't have a 4th round pick. We had already spent our first 2 on receiver. I took Chase Brown, and I understand some injury concerns in Cincinnati, but again, Chase catches a lot of balls. There's nobody else there to challenge him. Everybody stays healthy. I think people are sleeping on Brown this year, and he's a guy that Tom and I didn't want coming into our pick. We both were like, nah. And then we did a little review, a little research, a little loop around, and we both convinced ourselves that that was the safe play. And a lot of what we did, I think, was safe. And Hendo fall into the 5th when his ADP was higher than that as far as a future prospect goes. We didn't, I guess I keep saying we didn't sell out to win this year. And that's why it was some of the younger guys. That was the tiebreaker, was age when you're looking at Dynasty. But Henderson, you saw the big plays out of him. And people argue, if you take those 3 giant games out, he was only this and he was only that. I think it's a rookie in Vrabel's offense who kind of like Shanahan, who doesn't love running the rookies. I think he's going to get some more work going forward. He's going to get trusted. He's not fumbling like Stevenson is. And he's the future back on a solid team in a weak division with big play upside. But the concern is, what if it's not Hendo? And that's where we went later. And if you can just peek our flex right there on the bottom is David Montgomery. Montgomery, I feel this year is valuable as Henderson in a redraft, or damn close to it. Montgomery is going to be a 3-down back on a team that wants to run and play defense. So if Hendo doesn't pan out, we grab some guys later that we can throw into that RB2 spot and feel a lot more comfortable with, and then flex Henderson and ride the roller coaster in the flex. Feels a lot better than riding that roller coaster in RB2. And then when next year comes around with all of our draft capital, who knows what we walk away with as RB2. But as far as this year goes, I get there's a mix of some old and some young, but Montgomery gives us a really good safety net, in my opinion, with Henderson. Pairing those two together, even in redraft, that's not a bad plan as far as I'm concerned. So I
like what you did, man. And I'm going to say this. You know how, like, in home leagues, if it's a Chicago league, everyone takes Bears players too high? This was the opposite in the Fanatics League, because me and Storey, specifically myself, have been railing against TreVeyon Henderson since last year's draft. And I think everybody I think it's subliminal. I've like subliminal advertising to all these people that, like, Henderson sucks. And I think that's why he went so late, because, like, all the talk on Hendy on this channel is negative. Rightfully so, but not so much for Dynasty. I'm speaking of redraft purposes and the player, but he is still really fast, Storey. And you like this pick in Dynasty where they got him, especially?
Yeah. I don't know what Stevenson's contract is offhand. I know I don't think did they extend him? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. This is Henderson's backfield at some point. I'm just not so sure that it's going to be the 70-30 opportunity share that people seem to think that Henderson is going to get this year. I think you're looking closer to 50-50. Maybe Henderson gets a slight bump, 55-45, if he really outperforms 60-40, but we saw what they did in the playoffs last year. So for Dynasty, it's a really solid pick. No question whatsoever.
All right, let's I'm going to kind of breeze through the rest of this a little bit, and then we can get to the draft grades, because we have Jay coming on here in about, give us 5 or 10 minutes, Jay. I'll let you know. So I like the pairing there with Montgomery is a nice pair with Henderson, like you said. Tony Pollard is just a bridge spot there. I hate having a running back in the flex and PPR, but St. Brown and Ted McMillan. St. Brown, super steady. My only concern with him longevity-wise is he plays so goddamn hard. But look at Keenan Allen, how long Keenan Allen's played. Like, that looks like St. Brown to me, like aging into still a nice PPR weapon. Ted McMillan, second-year player. Dude, this roster is awesome for what you're doing. Like, you literally are building for the future, and I think there's a chance this team actually competes this year. When I say competes, like, actually could win. Like, it's a low chance.
Playoff team. I really do. I think it's a playoff team, and we've got a lot of future capital. Ricky Pearsall, this year could be wide receiver 3, could be wide receiver 1 in San Francisco. It's hard to say. We got Downs on our bench, and I think Downs is the guy that might be flexed more than Pollard, and maybe after the first couple weeks, right? We'll see what Pollard does.
We didn't even get to the bench yet, and with the news of Alec Pierce, which we're going to cover in depth tomorrow with the Chaz, it's not looking good for Alec Pierce, guys. And my 20% best ball shares of Alec Pierce, I still feel like are a fair value because Alec Pierce's Vegas odds are so high. He'll be good when he's actually healthy, which might not be till week 3. But like this is like wheels up for Tyler Warren and Josh Downs in particular. So Ricky Pearsall is the only X factor on this team, but Ricky Pearsall is also real young. The problem is, as you know, Nico, you're a big Niners fan, is the Deshaun Stribling pick. Like, is this the heir apparent? Which is crazy to take an heir apparent on a second-year player, but Ricky Pearsall has not proven to stay healthy, and he's on the worst franchise in the world for having health issues because y'all just can't, you can't field a healthy lineup ever. So this is a nice starting lineup. You have Cam Ward and Daniel Jones, so that's a nice pairing there at quarterback. Cam Ward's awesome value, got him so young. Jordan James, that's a homer pick. I hate that. DJ Giddens, Trevor Etienne. So the running back depth is not great, Keaton Mitchell, but Josh Downs is the key to this bench. Jake Ferguson, also a nice bench piece there for you in a pinch, but the bench is, I don't like the bench. I'll say this, but I like Josh Downs and I like Jake Ferguson. Storey, what are your thoughts on this bench? Because I think all our benches are going to be pretty bad, but you have quite a bit invested in quarterback.
Yeah, maybe too much in quarterback. I'm not sure why you would need a third with this roster, especially because you have a fourth on your taxi squad there. A lot of backup running backs. We don't know James is a guy in San Francisco. Giddens seems to be the guy for now, but he could get replaced at any time. Etienne in Carolina, I think that guy is a shell of what his brother is there. Keaton Mitchell, he's got speed, but he's behind 2 guys in L.A. Not a huge fan of the Naylor pick. Douglas.
No, I like the Naylor pick. I give you the Naylor pick. That's solid.
Yeah, okay. Booty, like if Booty gets moved, that there you go. Like if Booty gets moved, that's the key to this bench. Like Downs is fine.
That's the logic there.
In a PPR, Downs is a solid pick. But it's still Alec Pierce's team. I'm not worried about the news yet until we see things a little progress more. But, yeah, if Booty gets moved, then you've got an outstanding flex spot there for the rest of the year.
And that's this year and then future, right? Booty and Mario Douglas are both on the last year of their rookie deal. They're not going to continue in New England. Where do they go is kind of the question. Booty's a trade candidate this year. Naylor, I think, could be the wide receiver 1 in Vegas. There's a world where he gets leaned on, man, as the veteran who can be trusted there. As far as the number 2 running back behind McCaffrey, we don't know that it's not James. He's at least been in the system a year versus the Kalen Black, who's a year older than him, just showing up in a Shanahan system, which is hard to learn. As far as the extra quarterbacks, the logic was when we took Danny Dimes, he was on IR. I did not expect him to be ready for week 1. I thought he was going to be an IR stash, and I was going to be able to put another dart throw on the end of my bench. So the fact that he's questionable already and he's coming back as early as he is kind of caught me off guard, if I'm being honest. So I'm gonna play the hand I'm dealt, right? Where I took Jones with an IR designation and then he wasn't eligible, but he's not old. He's still a younger-ish quarterback that's showing a capability to run if he gets back healthy. And then Ward, the number 1 pick the year before, and Mendoza went how much earlier than Ward did. And I like Ward more than Mendoza. He's got a year in the league. And so it's maybe there's a world where I need to move a guy. Maybe there's a world where I got too much quarterback depth, but I didn't see a lot else out there that I was clamoring for, given the rest of the bench. So it's hard to stack a bench. Yeah. Especially with all of these geniuses, man. Like we've got degenerates that follow this pod every single day, weeks on end, all off season long. Like this is everybody who knows their shit is in this draft, dude. You're not doing a dynasty startup in May with the professional fanatics and tuning into this if you're just a regular fan. So you can't pull the wool over anybody's eyes, man. You can't sleep on anyone. Like we had so many guys we got sniped on and so many better ideas. So tip of the cap, dude, to everybody else in this league. There was so many times that y'all bit me in the ass, and I love it.
Mal says it is James. It is Jordan James. Black was drafted to be a role player in San Francisco's offense. James is the handcuff. Man, if that's the case, then that was a terrible pick for the Niners to take Kalen Black. And I think you kind of think it is, Nico, but was it 3rd round?
They do it every year. James was 3rd round the year before and never saw the field last year. But in OTAs this year, James and Black running in the same offense. James is finding holes and reading his linemen and hitting gaps. Black's running right into the back of his linemen. I don't know who else is there. Like, it's got to be James as the number 2, unless they bring somebody else in from the outside. And McCaffrey getting 4,017 touches last year isn't going to hold up this year is my concern.
That's good insight, guys. Again, pay attention to Nico generally when he talks because he's a genius and also a really nice guy. But he also knows everything about the Niners. So when he's talking about the Niners in particular, pay attention. Storey, we got to give the draft grades for this team. And then in the chat, guys, give us your draft grades. This is all-encompassing, not just for this year. Dynasty Startup draft grade, what do you think? Because keep in mind, they have all those draft picks, 8 picks into the 2027 draft, including 2 first-rounders, 4
9.
second-rounders. So 9 picks, even. Jesus, 9 picks. Okay, so what do you think, Storey? What kind of grade? We're gonna go lighter grades here.
Yeah, how do you want to do this? You want to do it for this year, for the entirety of Dynasty, or 2 different grades? What do you want to?
Let's just do 1 grade. Let's do 1 grade, hitting the mark, right? Whether it's going to be a win now team, whether it's an all-encompassing team, whether it's a team that's punting for the future, like with what they were trying to do, which is clearly a potential win now, but mostly for probably 2028. 2028 season, 2027 season, probably 2028. Those years. What is your grade? I'm thinking this is like a B+, just because it just makes a lot of sense.
I would go with an A-. So 2 things. Number 1, Greg Cosell thinks that Kalen Black will earn the backup role to Christian McCaffrey, FYI. Number 2, I think you have a really great construction here, Nick, because if you were to stress test this roster for future years, I have concerns about Chase Brown because of injury concerns to Joe Burrow, that offense falling off when he's not in there. Also, while he hasn't been replaced yet, he is a later round draft pick. There's not a whole lot tying him. So if they do draft somebody, he could lose his job. Ricky Pearsall, I'm not sold that he's the number 1 there. Kyle Pitts has never really proven it. Montgomery, he's on a 2-year contract. He's going to expire. But the fact that you guys back-ended it with the 27 picks, which I love the draft as you do next year, means that you could fill those holes as they become available. Again, like if you stress test this, you might have a few things here and there that don't work out long-term, but you've got the capital in 27 to really make a run for many, many years. So I'm going to give this an A-. There's a few picks on here that I'm not a huge fan on. Like I said, the Jalen Nailor pick, because the dude might have a few games here and there this year, but the offense isn't going to be that good. And he's going to get replaced. Like, that's just a fact of life. He will get replaced in the draft or free agency next year. But it doesn't matter if you guys have the capital to replace him next year. So A- for me. I like it. And it'll go to like an A if Booty gets moved or if you trade one of those quarterbacks.
Hey, maybe Dante Thornton takes his role. That's a joke, guys. It's a terrible joke. We didn't talk about Kyle Pitts also. Kyle Pitts is still really fucking young. And he's either going to get a mega contract with the Falcons or get traded somewhere that's really going to value him. And a change of scenery might do this kid some good. So Mal says C for his grade. He says it's on the fence. See, I don't see it as on the fence. The only older players you have is, we'll call Chase Brown a little bit older. The concern with Chase Brown is he's not an elite talent, and he could get, he might not be a starting running back in like 2 years. But I think that was baked into his draft costs. And like in the short term, he's awesome. St. Brown's not the youngest guy. You don't have any geezers on this roster. The oldest, like David Montgomery, is the only one, but you drafted him for a reason to kind of compete this year. And Montgomery's only 28. So it's like you don't have anyone old. Like you don't have Terry McLaurin like we do.
Yeah. Same with Pollard. But again, he's an expiring asset because of who they drafted this year. But it doesn't matter when you guys like basically bent the league over when it comes to 27 picks.
100%. We have MVP saying better version of what I wanted to go for. Solid A- with a draft capital and still serviceable team. Dakota says B, but just so you know, Dakota's grading system is skewed. So if you get a B from Dakota is like an A+. So I don't ever see I never seen it given A. I think he gave me an A once in a best ball draft, and we've done fucking 100 of them. And I definitely have some A caliber teams. Rocco says RBs are tryhards, no real star talent there. I mean, Chase Brown is a star talent in PPR. He's a RB1.
I mean,
I hate TreVeyon Henderson, but he is still like way undervalued in Dynasty. I think he's trash, but I see the appeal there. David Montgomery is a stud this year. He's, in my mind, a top 15 running back. That's just my personal opinion, but it's a bridge thing.
Yeah, it's so hard to find the balance, man, in Dynasty. It really is, to to versus win now. I didn't want to sell my future to win now, but I want to be competitive with the guys that are, and I don't want to just only play for 4 or 5 years from now, right? And then just have the youngest dudes and all the picks, and to find the balance and not be a 500 team is a really hard thing to do in a dynasty startup. And I feel like we had a few good values, and we were cognizant of age, and Pitts with Stefanski down there after the year he had last year. And we really liked Fannin, but he went the pick right before us with Pitts, and there was a drop off after Pitts, in my opinion, given age and health. I think Laporta was maybe the next one. So it's there's some what do you call it? Maybe just looking some. Man, what the fuck do you call predicting the future? There's a word I'm looking for here, and I'm drawing a blank on it.
Crystal ball.
Prognostication.
Prognostication. Yes, that's the one. Thanks, Storey. I knew it.
Prognosis negative.
All I could think in my head was procrastination, and I'm like, that's not what I'm doing. It's
masturbation.
See, you got to project a little bit for the future, and you can't have sure things. No one can across the board. So I appreciate y'all's grades, man. The fact that you guys got me at A- and B+ with the respect and love I have for your knowledge and you guys' game, heartfelt, man, warm and fuzzies. To appreciate y'all.
Well, make no bones about it. I do think the Tyreek Hill pick was an absolute waste of a pick.
I didn't pick him.
Oh, Tom did? So you're throwing Tom under the bus?
No, I added him off of the waiver wire after I put a bunch of people in the taxi.
Oh, okay. That's smart.
Well, he did.
That's smart.
He did.
Real quick. Miles says the bench doesn't move me much. Agreed. The bench is the worst part of this team, but you know what? It doesn't matter, his bench, because he has 9 picks next year, including 7 in the first 2 rounds in one of the best drafts we might have seen in the last 10 years. So like his future, like he doesn't need bench players because he didn't have a lot of picks in those rounds. So like the bench doesn't really matter. And Josh Downs is a great pick. Besides that, it doesn't matter. It's for this year. It might be a little rough, Nico. So if you have injuries this year, you can waive this season bye-bye, as most of us can. There's no insulation there. But you're going to you have reinforcements. Like, remember how the French came in the Revolutionary War and we won the war because of that? Thank you, French. Only time we ever say that to the French. But like, that's what you have. You have like the French, the Germans, the fucking Somalians. We have all of them coming, dude. So it's awesome.
So Nick, I would caution you. Let the fact that you've got Ward and Daniel Jones on there. If Daniel Jones returns to form, you're not going to want to get rid of him. If Cam Ward takes his next step forward, which we think he will, you're not going to want to get rid of him. You don't want to handicap yourself by not taking a quarterback talent in next year's draft if that makes itself available to you. So,
move Hurts to a contender at the end of the year then.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to get so locked in on these guys that you have here that you prevent yourself from future opportunity.
I love it. Hey, we need someone to join. Jay, you're next up. You need to join the lobby, and I can get you in here. If not, Jay, Derek, if you're in here, if you could join. And if none of them join, then I guess Rocco and Campbell can hop in here. I got to somehow keep this going. There we go. Jay is in here. Here's the man, the myth, the legend. Real quick, I fucked up the timing here. What's up, Jay? I have something for you. Welcome to Jay.
He's not making you two look any prettier.
Hey, quickly, so I don't know if you heard, but we're in kind of a desperate situation. Our Hawaiians gave us a week off.
Hawkhead filled me in. You guys been some tough sledding, huh, boys? Yeah, okay. So how'd you get here?
My Odyssey is parked out front.
Okay, Freddie, listen to me. Here's what you do. You meet us 742 Pierce Street. Ricardo, you ride shotgun with me. Let's huddle up. Come on. And we're going to run my favorite play. It starts with a P and ends with an Ussy.
Underrated movie.
Yeah. Jay, do you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, dude. What's up, man? Jay, everyone's favorite father on the fucking channel. Glad to have you aboard, man. We're going to talk about your fantasy team. I know your son drafted this with you, Cole. He could not make it. So give us a rundown. How do you feel about it? And then I'll run down each player, and then we're going to give it a grade.
All right. Well, we went running back in our first 2 picks, and I know that's a no-no, but I just couldn't pass it up. Every team, every league I've ever been in, you got to have 2 good runners to win it. So that's we thought there were a lot more receivers out there, so we went and got our runners early. I know everybody's been fading A-Chain, but I like A-Chain and I love Cook, so. That was our first
Storey. Storey loves A-Chain, so he supports that pick, right, Storey?
100% in redraft, in Dynasty, in best ball. I'm all aboard.
especially in PPR, and that's what we're playing here, folks. So A-Chain and James Cook, that is an elite duo at running back. Jaden Daniels, you have the future and the present with Jaden Daniels going quarterback 4, quarterback 5 in redraft. You got pretty good value on him. What do you have? Let's talk about for a backup. You have Baker. So you kind of insulated yourself from Jaden Daniels' injury, and I like what you did there. You're obviously really high on Jaden Daniels, Jay.
Oh yeah. I remember him torching the Lions the year we were supposed to go to the Super Bowl. So yeah,
he torched you guys, man.
Yes, he did.
And then A.J. Brown seems like a crazy value where you got him. So your receivers, dude, this team. Okay, so this team is win now, and I think you still have most of your picks. So A.J. Brown, Jalen Waddle, Jamison Williams. This team is very top heavy. We're gonna get to your flexes in a second, but Jaden Daniels, James Cook, Devin A-Chain, A.J. Brown, Jalen Waddle, and Jamison Williams. This is money right here. This is probably the best quarterback, 2 running backs, and 3 starting receivers in the league. We haven't got to every team yet, but can it get much better than this, Nico? That's fucking solid.
It is. It's really solid as long as Daniels returns to form from a couple years ago. If you get last year's Daniels, it's a little sketchy, but insulating it with Baker, again, that guy's a bit of a roller coaster too. So not completely sold there, but I obviously went quarterback heavy. So we know how I feel about them in Dynasty. The Cook pick felt a little early given his age and given Dynasty, but in the short term, you play Dynasty for 2 to 3 years, and Cook's going to give you 2 solid years. So I'm not knocking it. It felt early to me. I think if I remember correctly where he took him. I love A-Chan. I don't love the touchdown opportunity in Miami. I don't know what that team's going to do. They got half of the salary cap as the rest of the league this year. So that makes me a little bit concerned, especially with an unproven quarterback. Brown going to the Patriots helps a ton. Waddle should be the wide receiver 1 out there in Denver, and a Sean Payton offense. They just re-upped Payton too, so they're all in on what he's trying to do. J-Mo is a game changer. He's a great flex to have as a wide receiver 3. You're going to have some not show up weeks is my concern, but you're going to have some blow up weeks. So for a wide receiver 3, beautiful, man. He's one of the guys that was on my radar. I'm a big J-Mo fan. Having Amon-Ra, obviously, I wasn't going to do that. So top of that lineup or top of that roster, it's stout, man. It's heavy. You pulled off some really good receivers given how early you went on running back and quarterback.
Story, the Tyler Warren pick is what's up because especially with the news of Alec Pierce, same thing with the Josh Downs thing, but I think the main beneficiary is going to be Tyler Warren, at least in the short term, and he's super young. I feel like Colson Loveland has stole a lot of Tyler Warren's thunder as a rookie, right? Because Tyler Warren limped to the finish line, mostly due to Daniel Jones' death, essentially, on the field. And Tyler Warren's a stud. And this is in PPR, Tyler Warren, on top of all the guys we're just talking about. Amazing stuff, right?
Yeah. Early 4th round pick, 4-1. So it would, for anybody who's playing redraft, you might think that's pretty early for Warren. But in Dynasty, that's exactly where you want to get that next crop of tight ends that are going to ascend to the next level. Can Loveland and Warren become that big 4 part of the McBride Bowers contingent? Remains to be seen, but
I think so for sure.
Yeah. Loveland went almost a whole round earlier. So, and Kraft went before Tyler Warren, which was very surprising.
All right, Jay, now we got to get to the bad stuff or the questionable stuff, and it is your 2 flexes. And, I'm the biggest Michael Wilson fan ever. I keep on saying it. This year, I'm a little hesitant just based on the offense not throwing the ball as much, and Marvin Harrison taking that leap we've been talking about for years. And then Aaron Jones, who is officially a dinosaur. So Jeff Goldblum loves that pick, but for us, it's okay. Give me your rundown on Michael Wilson, Aaron Jones. I know I'm pretty funny. Thank you. Jay, Michael Wilson, Aaron Jones, give me that rundown.
Well, Michael Wilson, we're looking for him to break out, like he did last year, to be honest with you. They got a new head coach, LaFleur, right?
Mike LaFleur.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's good bloodlines there. I think he's going to surprise this year. And Aaron Jones, I'm not happy about that. We may switch Gainwell in there. I was trying to flex on the league, putting my highest scoring players in my lineup. That's why I had A.J. Brown on the bench. But
Gainwell is going to be a PPR monster, dude. That was another guy that we were high on that didn't make it to us at a point we liked him enough. But I like that pick. I think he's PPR monster.
Yeah, so he'll probably go in Aaron Jones's place, see what he does at the beginning of the year. But if you look at it, Minnesota didn't bring anybody in really to run the ball. unless they sign one of these guys that didn't sign, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, Jones or what's the other guy's name? Mason. Yeah, he's not a pass catcher, so he'll, Jones is going to be on the field, and we'll see. I don't know. I'm not wild about it either, but Pickens were getting slim at that point, and we missed out on the rookies. Every time we had a rookie in mind, he got sniped. So
same, dude. We felt the same. So the bench here is a little stronger than what we had with Nick O's team. With Kenneth Gainwell, super nice. Trey Benson, you could probably drop him, but Kenneth Gainwell, Trey Tucker, super nice. Denzel Boston is a really nice piece for the future. Nice draft capital there. And then Debo could have a role this year. Romeo Doubs on his bench, AJ Barner, so this bench is definitely stronger. So his weakness is at flex. He has a lot of fringe guys where, Nico, you don't have a lot of fringe guys in your team. It's either, your starting lineup is pretty set. You have some questions, Jay, in terms of your flex spots, but you have a lot of options. Trey Tucker, Boston, Debo Samuel, Jacoby Myers, Romeo Doubs, so you can play the matchup game. It might be a headache, but I do like your bench. Story, what are your thoughts on some of the bench players? Boston, Myers, Doubs, none of them are really amazing, but they all are going to have a role.
There's some really good options in here that guys that could have sent. You mentioned Samuel. He's not on a team yet. He could sign somewhere. Jacoby Myers, everybody is anointing Parker Washington, but this could be Jacoby Myers' team this year if Brian Thomas doesn't rebound. They did pay him a lot of money. Boston feels like a really solid long-term pick, although a lot of people are higher on Concepcion. I had some questions. Tucker, I really do like where Tucker's at this year, but it felt like he got a little enamored with established players with Trey Benson and Kamara, right? Guys that realistically have little to no value in a dynasty format. I do like the Gainwell pick, but that is a short-term pick as well. He's only on that team for probably 2 years before he moves on. And if Bucky Irving actually gets back to his rookie year form, then Gainwell's probably going to be pretty marginalized. So you got to hope some things break right for, you got the starting pieces in place to make a good run at it. But I would be looking to think about what you can do for the future, because you're kind of devoid of picks after this year until you've kind of given away a few pieces here. So you really got to. I would make some pushes to try to win this year.
Yep, that's the idea.
Yeah. So he has a 2027. They have a 2027 first round pick, but no second and third round pick. So at least you do have your first still. So you have some trade ammunition, and then obviously if it doesn't work out this year, you can always trade back into that second round next year. But I like this team, man. You made a few moves. The last move you made with Mouth definitely fleeced you. We talked about this, Jay. It's all good. You made a lot of other good moves. I think you came out pretty well with the trade we made. We swapped draft slots, and that got you A-Chain and James Cook. What do we have for a Drake? Jay, give me your draft grade for this team. I want to hear what you think of this team all in all, A through F.
Solid B, I guess. Definitely got to address the flex position, and I am kind of bummed out we missed out on that second, third round pick for the 27 draft. But we'll shore that up. We'll see what happens. We'll make a move or something or another. We'll get it back.
I trust you, man. What do we have, Nico? What do you have for a grade for this team?
I think as far as the 27 picks go, you do got some aging veterans that you might be able to move to a contender. Even if you are one of those guys at the end of the year, you don't start your bench, right? So if you've got somebody else that's worth starting on another team to move for a second and or third next year, that's a pretty easy thing to shore up. So I'm with you there. I like the starters. Flex is a tough spot for me. The bench with the Benson, the Kamara, the old dudes, I don't expect to do much. Debo ain't on a team, and I think he's done. I don't love Tucker. You got a little work to do to shore up the bench. But that being said, from a guy whose bench isn't stout, take it for what it is, man. I got like a B- C+. Just with the future is a little bit of my concern with your team. But you're definitely competitive this year.
I kind of gave some of my thoughts already. I do like the taxi squad quite a bit. Maybe not Sam Rouse as much, but certainly Caleb Douglas and Cyrus Allen. I think those are both nice long-term picks. So with that said, I'm going to give you a B- on this. I would not rest on my laurels. I would be looking actively throughout the year to either decide we're going to go all in this year or we got to break it all down. You're going to have to make a decision really quickly in the season. because come bye weeks, you're going to want that depth on your team. And a lot of these guys are dead weight. Kamara, love the guy, but he's dead weight. Trey Benson, dead weight. So just think about that long term.
Right on.
This is a really hard team to grade just because the top, from Daniels to Tyler Warren, if you take away the flex spots, it's an A+, honestly. Like, this is fucking awesome. But the flex spots and the bench give me a little pause. I'm going to go B-. I'm going to go with Nico. And the other issue is the future with missing a couple of those picks. Miles says, I didn't fleece. Jay knew exactly what he was getting, that he was getting fleeced, and I wanted to keep Roush. Also, I think we never want to trade for players when someone has obviously Mouth loves Sam Roush. Like, we all love women. And he asked accordingly for that. And you know what? We love Sam Roush. Me and Storey love Sam Roush. Mouth loves Sam Roush. So the depth chart's the biggest issue there. But Cole Kmet's going to be gone, and if something happens to Loveland, like Sam Roush would be a tight end 1 in our minds. B- for me. So we all do like this team. And again, this has firepower. These deep rosters are tough, though, in terms of the flex spots. But, I think Michael Wilson's fine. I think it's mostly the last flex. But Kenneth Gainwell is going to be a flex-worthy player. I mean, he had 80 receptions last year, Storey? 76 receptions? I mean, third most among running backs?
The big concern would be, though, if Bucky Irving gets back to form, they're not going to take him off the field. They've shown a willingness to give him the work. So if it does turn into a committee, you've got a PPR machine there. If it is not a committee and it's Bucky's backfield, Gainwell, you're going to be feeling like you need to start him, and there's going to be games, though, where he gets 2-3 catches and you're going to be disappointed. So, and it's a long-term fix. This guy's a bit of a journeyman. He won't be on the team in 2028.
Gotcha.
Cool, man. Derek should be joining soon. Derek, if you hear me join the stream, we'll get you in there. Jay, you are the man. Also, your son is in here. Your co-manager, Cole, says, don't sell us short, old man. We'll be fine. I call my dad old man as well. You look like $1 million. Your wife is very beautiful. You are really awesome, dude. We're so happy to have you a part of the community. I hope you're enjoying every part of this.
Loving it.
Hell yeah. We'll talk to you soon, man. Take care of yourself, and hopefully we see you in the chat.
Will do, brother. Take care, guys.
All right, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Jay, what an awesome guy. He is the father of the channel. Now we have the stepfather of the channel. I'm just kidding. What's going on, Derek? Here we go. Here comes Derek.
Federico! ¿Cómo estás? Bene! Capello! ¿Cómo estás?
Oh, God, don't you want to fuck every woman you see just once? Absolutely once. Ciao.
I know Derek's seen talent in Mr. Ripley, right?
Absolutely.
This dude knows he knows movies, he knows sports, he knows life. Derek, aka Mr. Free Throw, you all know him, you all love him. Say what's up. How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
All right, we're gonna pick apart your team, so hopefully you're ready for that. We've been kind of nice so far. I'm gonna be as nice as I can be because I need all your guys' support. I'm poor, but these two guys, I can't vouch for Nico and Storey. Storey can sometimes be a little rough, but we all love the honesty, right? We want honesty.
Well, I feel like Storey's going to be biased against me from the start just because I'm a coach.
Oh,
zing, bro!
Storey hates coaches.
Zing.
I'm gonna knock it down a full letter grade. I don't even know what it is yet.
Hey, Storey, do you hate coaches of all sports, or is it just football coaches? Like,
No,
do you go talk shit to little league baseball coaches?
Daughter's soccer team. Do you hate me?
If you're a coach and you make dumb decisions, you get lumped in the same boat with everybody. So I'm not going to pull punches here. But
AKA Mitch Johnson.
Yeah, Derek, I'm sure you'd be a better coach than a lot of guys in the league currently. Just FYI, NFL coaches.
I've honestly. If I feel like if I was coaching the Spurs last night, it would be 2-2.
Ooh, what a rough ending that was,
dude. I think if they didn't have a coach last night, they'd be 2-2. Like anyone, you know what I'm saying? Like hire literally someone that's dead, and then they just keep the starters in there and just play basketball. Anyways, this is a football podcast. Derek, you have an interesting squad, and you made some really nice moves with Mouth. Mouth made a lot of trades. Some he lost, some he won. I'm pretty sure he built this team on where you were drafting from after trading your first round pick. You had all the capital and you kind of made it work. So let's go through this. Jackson Dart at quarterback, Jonathan Taylor at running back with Josh Jacobs. You called your team Arrested Development, and also you have Alec Pierce in your team. So he's not arrested, but his injury. So some of your guys you drafted, there's been some stuff that has happened after the draft, and Rasheed Rice in your team as well. So there's some boom bust here for other reasons in football. But Jackson Dart, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, Nico Collins, Rasheed Rice, Jordan Tyson, Harold Fannin, Jadarian Price, and Alec Pierce in the starting lineup. So give me your rundown of these players and kind of what you're thinking, because you have a weird blend of win now and young. Was that your goal from the start?
Yeah. Maybe not from the start, but as the draft kind of went along, we just, decided to go that route, kind of, especially when we got in those middle rounds and we had a bunch of picks. We ended up with 9 players in the first 6 rounds. And so, we kind of went with a balance of some really solid guys that could potentially win now, but aren't necessarily old and still have, some good solid years left. And then some young players to mix in there to shore up the future for us. And then we're never going to be a team that's going to, hang around in the middle. If it's looking like it's not great, then we're gonna make moves to help us down the road.
Full Ricky Bobby, right? If you ain't first or last.
Absolutely.
And, I love it, man. You guys went for it on a few of your picks. The age with Dart and the future with Dart is beautiful as long as he doesn't keep running head first. Taylor and Jacobs, again, like I've said, you can't play Dynasty further out than 2 or 3 years, and you're going to get a couple good years out of both of those guys, pending charges against Jacobs. Nico Collins is a guy that we considered with our second pick with Tetaroa, and the tiebreaker was literally age. And it's not that Nico's old, but he's a declining asset, right? Like once the Storey brought it up earlier, once you hit that 27, 28 year age, they may be in their prime, but they're not getting any better. But where you took him, beautiful. Rice was a do not draft for me, man. I'm so scared of that. I'm risk averse. We played it pretty safe, and you went risky with Dart. You went risky with Rashi. So you gotta set a cojones on you, brother. And I like that, man. Robbie, scroll down just a little bit for me, and let me
Matt
see
Stafford.
That. 3 is Tyson, who you stole from us, Fannin, who you stole from us, Price, who I liked, and I'm high on Downs for a reason. So the Pierce pick's solid too, dude. Flexing Pierce is beautiful given health. That starting lineup is stacked, and you got a good 2 years out of everybody and some future guys. So I'm about his starting roster, man. I think he's going to compete this year for sure, given health, but you can't guess health. You can't do that on anybody's team with any players. Like, you can't assume any injuries. So all that aside, it's a risky starting lineup, but it is a sexy starting lineup.
And Matt Stafford to back up Jackson Dart, which is a necessity because Jackson Dart is probably not playing the entire year with his play style. And you want him to have that play style to have the upside in fantasy, but in a 6 for a passing touchdown league, Matt Stafford is ideal. You get 2 years of that to kind of see what you have in Jackson Dart and just maybe start Stafford to start the year and then see what happens with Malik Neighbors. But I'm trying to think of a weakness. The pick that threw me off, Storey, I think we were both aligned with this one, was the Jordan Tyson pick, because the first 5 picks or so, it was like, this guy's going all in to win this year. And then you take Jordan Tyson. So, Storey, give me your take on that, and then I want to hear what Derek thinks.
Jordan Tyson in particular, or the team in general?
Just the Jordan Tyson and then the Price pick. Those two, which didn't quite fit the mold of the early picks. How do you feel about that for a build?
Yeah, if you're trying to win now, Tyson might be we fully expect it's a great landing spot. We fully expect Tyson to be the 2 there, but acclimating in the NFL generally takes a little bit of time for these guys. So you got to hope that he can get up to speed quickly so he doesn't drag your team down when you're trying to win those early games. And then Price, there's a lot of chatter about Price is looking like he could be a 3-down back, but there's also a lot of chatter about Zach Charbonnet could be back sooner than expected. Now, nobody expects week 1, but October is within the realm of possibility here. So if, going all in on trying to win now, I'm not sure that those were necessarily the right picks. It kind of felt like you were trying to balance future with right now. I think I would have gone with a couple other guys going around there.
Yeah. Both of those picks in particular, let's talking about Tyson, we're probably a little higher on Tyson than some other people are. So we liked him there just based on the other receivers that were in that range. We just like the upside, and then being that it is Dynasty, we figured why not throw him in there. The price pick is really a future pick, because if you look at our bench, I mean, we do have who do we have down there?
Kyle Monangai and Dylan Sampson.
Yeah, Monangai and Dylan Sampson that are going to have some standalone value this year, and potentially if things happen on their teams, they could be starters, big time for us. And it's not out of the possibility that Tank Bigsby, if something happens in Philly, then he's a top 10 guy.
Yeah, you definitely leaned into the fragility of the running back position, right? With Marshawn Lloyd, Sampson, Monangai, Kalen Black, Tank Bigsby. You've got multiple opportunities to get a running back 2 in position to start in your flex if one of those guys in front of those 5, or Isaiah Davis as well, gets injured. So you got to hope some of that running back fragility that we saw in 2023 and earlier comes to fruition this year.
I'm giving you a half letter grade up because you have Dylan Sampson on your team.
I want to talk to Samson. Climbing to the moon like that bitch Alice Cram.
I will say you should change your logo to the Red Cross logo with the amount of red questionable tags you've got floating around.
Especially now with Pierce, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Going back to Nick's comments early, talking about Nico. He talked about Nico and Tet, I believe. I think you took Tet right before we took Nico, because we were going to go with Tet had you not just say both of them were there. We were going to go Tet as well. But when you took Tet, then that it was a no-brainer to take Nico there.
We took Pitts right after you took Fannin too, man.
Yeah,
so we're Steven, right? We boogered each other a little bit in this one.
Yeah.
The thing I get a little bit hung up on is all the backup running backs on your bench feels like a redraft team where I'm trying to find that workhorse more than I feel safer in Dynasty with that bench. That's my only concern. But this is a full on Ricky Bobby team, man. And like I said, I love the set of balls you got on you, brother.
I will say, though, also, if you're playing for win now, the Penix feels like a wasted pick. We don't even know that he's going to be the starter or if he's even going to be healthy. So it just feels like he's clogging your roster a little bit. When are you ever going to start him? You know what I mean? You got Stafford as a backup to Jackson Dart.
The future, who knows?
I can see that. I will say for the running backs in particular, it is kind of a redraft and load that bench. But all of those guys are young. Except,
Kalen Black.
Yeah.
The rookie, Kalen Black.
He's a rookie, but he's old as hell.
And then
he's like Danny Almonte, fucking little leaguer that lied about his fucking age. He's actually 30.
Lloyd we picked up just we didn't even draft him, but we drafted Tyreek, ended up dropping him, and we picked up Lloyd just to kind of hedge on Josh Jacobs news. Who knows what's going to happen there.
4 or 6 snaps out of Lloyd if Jacobs don't play.
Marcel Lloyd gets hurt going grocery shopping, guys.
I do want to talk about the Rashee Rice. Nick talked about that one. It is super risky, and my co-owner Bronson, he didn't necessarily want to do it. There were some other guys that we considered that I think he was leaning more the other way, but this was one of the ones that I kind of pushed. Like I love Rashee Rice when he's on the field. Obviously, that's always going to be the question with him. He is a Dallas guy. In fact, where he got in his Lamborghini accident and fled the scene that started this whole mess was in Dallas. And then Bronson and I do a redraft team together as well. And we had him last year, and when he's on the field, he's just so good. So that's one that I was like, I really want Rice, so we went with that one.
Dude,
why wasn't Rashee Rice on the 90s Cowboys? Like, that just makes so much sense, you know?
And
then he wouldn't be getting suspended because it'd be swept under the rug, you know? Like, Michael Irvin literally stabs him.
I was going to say, he may be the long-lost illegitimate son of Michael Irvin. You never know.
But sometimes you just gotta go get your guy, man. You want to root for who you want to root for, especially in Dynasty. So I don't hate it. My concern with Rice is if the Chiefs don't extend him, I don't know the next team he goes to does as much as what Andy Reid and the Chiefs do to make him productive. I don't know that he's going to be able to stand on his own 2 feet on any other NFL team and get the type of numbers that he does with the Chiefs, where they scheme him open, man, and they run their offense to cater a little bit to him. So that'd be my concern with Rice long term. But if he shows out this year, Chiefs are going to keep him. They just paid Patty Mahomes $500 million through 2033. As long as Rice has a good year, they're going to extend him, and he should stay there. So there's a world.
I figured it out. I figured out the destination. You need a time machine. Let's go back to the year Michael Thomas had all those receptions. If you put Rashee Rice in that role, in that specific offense with Drew Brees, later stage Drew Brees, now you have someone with Rashee Rice if he's not in the Chiefs. We all agree with that?
Sure.
Works.
I'll give you that one.
Is that possible? Can we get Doc Brown up in here and DeLorean and let's get Rashee Rice to New Orleans?
Hey, I got a DeLorean for sale, man. It's in good shape. It's got good mileage, man. It was only driven from time to time.
You for real? All right, let's get draft grades in this team. So, Storey, I'm going to start with you. Actually, no, Derek, give us your draft grades first in your team.
I feel like it's probably a solid B with, some high potential upside, and then just based on the youth we have and the draft capital that we were still able to keep, I feel like it's a B, potentially B plus.
Storey?
I'm going to go with B minus. I have real concerns about the depth of your roster if you're trying to make a run this year. You need a lot of things to break right in order for you to make a deep playoff run come injury season, come bye weeks, etc. So there's a lot of holes on the bench. Now the starting lineup, we talked about it, outstanding. Should look really good. But again, like come these, not everybody's going to stay healthy, and the bye weeks is going to wreck people. So and Price, we don't actually know what his role is going to be like in November and December when things really matter. So yeah, B minus for me.
Nico, what do you got?
First off, I got a question. Derek, you in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I assume?
Yeah.
I got you, man. I'm heading down there in November. Let's meet up, man. Let's get a drink, talk fantasy for a little bit, man. Maybe catch a game or something. I'll be down there for a week in November for work.
Sounds good.
Man,
are you hitting on him on the stream? Are you trying to set up a liaison?
Yeah, man.
It's a date.
I'm making friends everywhere I go, brother. Anybody that puts a Professional Fanatics logo on their body is a friend of mine, and I want to meet up and have a drink with them.
I agree. Real quick, Derek, Nico is the nicest guy ever. He'll disarm you. Make sure your drink has a lid on it. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. It only happened once, and I asked him to do it, so it's all good. All right, so get to your draft grades before you're setting up dates, Nico.
All right, man. I got butter him up, man, before I knock him down.
Knock him up, bro.
The concern for me, dude, I wanted to hit you with like a C minus looking at your starting lineup with Taylor and Jacobs. I'm very concerned future-wise, but then I look at the bench, and I said it's a redraft running back bench, right? But they do got some age. They do got some upside. If some of those guys can turn into future starters, that pulls you back up a little bit. And I think Price will be the future starter in Seattle. That's the team that wants to run first. I'm not as high on Pierce as everybody else is, but if he can repeat what he did last year, I like it. I like Dart's upside. I'm gonna pull my C minus up to a B minus, man, just because of the potential upside. But like Storey said, you need some things to break your way. I think you're going to be competitive this year. My concern is in 2 years from now, what your depth looks like if some things don't shake your way. I
can't grade this team. It's just, I look at this and I I see the top 5, right? Counting Jackson Dart, but just Taylor, Jacobs, Nico, Rice. They see the bottom 4, Tyson, Fannin, Jadarian Price, Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce still a pretty young man. It's just a weird mix. And so it is a good team. I'm just trying to think of like, is this win now? Is this win for the future? It's kind of like right down the middle, but there's a lot of really good players here. So I can't put it in the C range because like all the draft capital you had, I'm not trying to say you fumbled the bag. It's just I would have really leaned into the win now thing, but you're going to have some future regardless because Tyson, Fannin, and Price are super young. And Harold Fannin's like 22 years old, guys. He's a fixture of that Browns offense. I love Jordan Tyson as long as he can stay healthy. And I'm not a Price guy. Maybe that's where I'm kind of caught up here because, Zach Charbonnet might be back week 1. I don't know if you guys saw that report, but it looks like it's a possibility. And I don't know why we were always assuming week 12 with Charbonnet because
the same reason I assumed it with Jones and you assumed it with Kittle, man. Like that's what it used to be. But man, they've come a long way with these surgeries.
Like I could grade this team an A, and I could also grade this team a C-. So I'm going to go in between there. It's in the B range. I'm not going to give it a set grade because it's just hard to fucking grade. I love what you did though. Like you went all in, just in a weird, like it's a mad scientist team. I think you and Mouth have the most 2 weird scientist minds, and I commend you. Like it was super aggressive, but you did kind of play for the future too.
Future picks either, man. What picks does he got going forward? Because I know
he has Mouse first.
I own 1 or 2 of them, man, and I appreciate you for that.
So he has 2 firsts in 28 and 1 in 27, but no other picks. So I guess pretty much even draft capital with everyone else because you're missing some of the late round guys. But 3 firsts in the next 2 years is pretty nice.
Yeah, and thirds are dart throws, man. Thirds are garbage, man. Thirds don't matter.
Thirds are only garbage if you don't know what you're doing.
I know.
You have a bunch of he has a bunch of 2028.
Get off my game.
He has a second, a third, and a third. So you actually have more than average draft capital. So okay, I'm gonna raise this up to a B. Because of that.
I mean, Tyson should be in this league for many years to come. Rice could easily get an extension, right? He's in the last year of his deal. Assuming he's healthy, assuming he stays out of trouble, the Chiefs should extend him. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with the B-.
Yeah, I wanted Tyson and Fannin and Price. Like, I'm not going to lie, dude, but it was what it was. You got him.
See if you can trade Kelsey to a contender right now.
I like the depth of Kelsey. Real quick, Campbell's already in here. Rocco, you need to join the stream so I can get you guys in here in a minute when Derek logs off. Final thoughts, Derek. Also, I want to just say I appreciate your support. Always in the chats, your super chats, everything. You're awesome, dude. And you would be the grandfather of the show, but Jay is a little older than you. So I called you the stepfather, which isn't always a great thing because, some weird things happen with stepfathers.
Sometimes they're better than the ones who didn't show up, too.
I'm just kidding, bro.
Only online.
Yeah, only online. The online stepfather. Yeah, we've seen those videos, haven't we? I've read about those. I've never once watched one, guys.
Yeah, okay. My stepmom and my stepsister and my step cousin.
Oh, Jesus. Derek, final thoughts on the team. You guys satisfied with it? And also, I want to shout out to your partner. What is your partner's name? Because he made us a trophy and a necklace, right?
Yeah, the hype chain. His name's Bronson Aspen.
I love it, dude. That was a hot chain,
Sweet,
dude. That was hot.
Yeah, he emailed me that file. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, he's I think he's watching the show right now. But just final thoughts on the team. Like I said, we really like the team where it's at, and like I said at the very beginning, and that story, I'm not sure you heard this part. That's one thing that Bronson and I we're gonna trade whenever we need to. We don't hold our cards too often. So in leagues that we've been together, anytime we feel like we need to make a move, we're gonna make moves. We can sell if we feel like we're gonna be middle of the road. We'll sell some of those guys and just set ourselves up for the future. Or if we really like where we're at, all those young, kind of depth pieces that don't really fit, those are the guys that we can move to kind of upgrade and try to win now.
Adapt and overcome.
If history is any indication, I should expect a trade in our inbox by the end of the night.
Hell yeah, man. Derek, I appreciate you as always. Awesome to have you on. I'm super happy how this is working out. Glad to have all you guys make an appearance, put a face to the name. I know you guys all pretty personally, but not everyone does. So this is I'm really proud of what we're building here, man, and you're a big part of it.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Thank you to Derek. What an awesome guy. Pretty wild team that I do appreciate what he did there. So I like the gameplay here. And this is a weird team, but God, when I saw his first start, I was like, we're all fucked, because if he wanted to go in on this year, like he could have definitely lapped the field, but he's playing both games. You know what? It could work. This could work out crazy for him. If, the young players hit, he's going to have a future. And then this year with those running backs, Nico and Rashee Rice, if they're, not in jail or hurt, awesome. All right. We have two guys coming on here, and they are the two-man Sammy. So here's one of them. You talked to him earlier. And two guys, one cup. This is getting to be a party here. This is part of the guys trip. We have Rocco on the far right. We have Mike Campbell next to him. Usually they're, I'm in between them, but I'm on the other end of you, so you guys are kind of safe here. Real quick, I got something for you guys I got to play. Got a little intro, custom intro for all of you guys. Here we go.
Yo, Frank, we're going to set it off, bitch.
Ow! What are your bridge friends doing here?
Wait, you gotta give it the illusion of a party. It's gotta be a guy's night, that's why.
Are you high on blow?
Whatever Duncan gave me.
You don't even know what you're high on?
No.
It's probably blow and something else.
That's great.
At Packers Suck, we have Rocco, we have Campbell, the two-man Sammy, trading over Josh Allen. They have Bijan Robinson. Guys, talk about your team for a second. I'm going to have the starting lineup listed for everybody. If you guys are in the chat, you don't know, this is full PPR. This is a deep league. This is a dynasty startup. This is the League of Leagues. Campbell, Rocco, time is yours. Mic is yours.
Let's go. Rock, let's hear you first, man.
I think the main strategy was just, and in any dynasty league, is just getting guys that you see with some long-term longevity. And the reason for chasing Josh was exactly that. Still young enough to probably have possibly up to a decade left of time, and has proven over the last, 6 years now, to be pretty much the top one or two dynasty quarterback. And a big thing with me is being in a dynasty league for the last 13 years, in a 16-team, 24-man roster league is people that play. And Josh is always playing. And to get an eighth to come back with that and then be able to take his counterpart Kincaid at that spot, we just felt like there was a lot of value there, and we went and got the guy we wanted, and we didn't feel like we had to really do too much to get it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with him, man. I mean, Josh has always been our guy. I'm a Burrow guy. He's a Josh guy. But when it comes to fantasy, with Burrow's health issues lately, and I understand there's probably not the most popular opinion the way we did it. I think we probably could have got him. We thought quarterbacks like Josh would be taken earlier. Given the 6-point passing touchdowns, maybe some would look at it a little differently. But Josh can have some blow-up years, and I think they're more in his future than they are in his past. So let's see what he has to do. That was
double-up's nice, man.
We wanted him back.
Well, we actually, if you see, we actually tripled up, and that's not really on purpose. Yeah, we didn't mean to go we needed to kind of pair Josh with either DJ or Kincaid, but it just kind of worked out where they both fell into our lap. I don't know how excited we are about that, but we do
wanted DJ Moore on my team so bad, man. That was I wanted Kyron to fall to me, and I wanted DJ Moore. Y'all definitely sniped me on those. I like putting all your pieces in a basket that scores a lot of points, which is Buffalo with Josh Allen. The story you mentioned earlier, I think the little bit of a steal I got on Hurts is Allen and Hurts are the only two that are finishing top six. Their percentage, 50+% of the time in the last 5 years, they've been finishing top six quarterbacks. So I see the value there. And then, like I said, the Kyron pick, and tell Kyron's not to pick, he's the pick. And he continues to get his work, man. It continues to get his. I know Corum put up almost 800 yards last year, and it still didn't hurt Kyron. So I don't see Corum hurting Kyron this year. Bijan's a monster, man. Was it Mouth? I think paid up for Burrow. Moved up to get him, paid up a little more than I would have. But we'll talk about Mouth later and knock him on that. As far as the Allen and Bijan and Kyron, though, with Moore and Kincaid, it's solid for this year. Robbie, scroll back the other way, man. Let me see his.
No, I was just showing them that they only are missing one pick, so they're missing their 2027 first round pick.
Okay.
That goes for the Josh Allen trade. Everything else is intact on their team, so they're a little less than average in terms of future draft capital, but not like they didn't trade their entire.
Let's see what we got though for that pick, right? So if you notice, we got Josh Allen. We traded up, but we only gave up a few spots. We got Kincaid later in that spot to match up with Allen for that trade. And we got our guy. Like
I would not be bragging about Kincaid though, guys. Dalton Kincaid barely plays football. I don't understand that.
It's definitely a shot. I mean, he's definitely get himself in the position where hopefully, barring the health situation, which, obviously you don't want to draft fantasy wise, always thinking somebody's going to get hurt, but he has the potential to be possibly the number 1 or number 2 pass catcher in that offense if things go the way they're supposed to.
Let me give you
me and Storey have talked about this. He just doesn't see the field.
No.
Let me give you a stat.
Let's go.
Let me give you a stat. So I was, my jam is always, I don't have the time you guys have. So your guys' expertise and knowledge, the way you talk, unprecedented. Don't get me wrong. However, the limited time that I have to evaluate things is on the road or other limited times. But Kincaid last year, I think it was last year, he had 5 games. Within those 5 games, if they would have duplicated that, he would be a top 5 tight end. He was viewed as one of the best value picks this year for a tight end, and we got him in a round that I don't think most people thought you would have. I mean, maybe in a dynasty league, he's still young. Like, of course, barring injury, but if he's a healthy player, which we are banking on, I mean, he had a bad year last year, but in terms of health, but I think that's where we
bad career so far.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to get hung up on a tight end in a dynasty league and a not tight end premium either. You know, so it's nobody's going to ding you too hard on that one, man. And you have
Gatson. You have Gatson as well, so that's a nice little. I think Gatson might be your starter. We got to see how it shakes out.
I think that could possibly be the play.
That was the dilemma. That was the dilemma. So we almost took Kincaid when we took Gatson, but I had a feel. I just look. You guys go on stats and all that stuff. I can't do that because I don't have the knowledge you guys do. So when me and Rafa were battling back and forth, like he wanted Kincaid, and it came down to a last-second decision. Like, hey, I want to. He goes, you pick. I took Gatson.
Yeah, it made sense too because we had DJ already, so it kind of made sense to try to stay away from it. But it's hard to pass him up on the way back. So
no, and Mike McDaniel led offense. The tight ends have always been productive there for the most part. Yep. And Gatson had he showed out a few games, but they brought in Joku in, who I think is a year or 2 guy at tops. The concern for me is Gatson is I've barely seen it from him versus what you paid. That felt like one of the biggest reaches in this draft to me, guys. I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna call it like I see it, even if it stings a little, man.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think the biggest problem is you don't have the quarterback play matching it. So on both sides of the tight end, one side is with Kincaid is his injury problems. Then the other side on the other side is we have Herbert going down. So you kind of rocking a hard place with both of them. So we need one person to show out.
We've talked about Kincaid way too fucking much, guys. I know Storey hates Kincaid.
Handsome.
And he just sitting there.
I don't hate Kincaid. I'm just saying if you want 4 for 34, Dalton Kincaid's your man. Don't. So
the offense is going to change. The last 2 years of that passing game has definitely struggled a little bit, and the changing guard is. I think it's going to really help Josh get back to that 4,000 plus yard throwing and 4,200 yard plus throwing and the close to 30 touchdowns. It's going. Yeah. I think you have a change coming here. Let's talk more about Josh and what he's going to be doing and what that new offense is likely going to look like.
Well, I think Austin Moore is not going to help his starting share. Doesn't matter. As Nick said, it's a minor issue in the grand scheme of a dynasty league. Elephant in the room. I love Josh Allen. He's the best fantasy asset in the entire game and has been and will continue to be. I don't like giving up a second round pick, even in a dynasty format.
We gave a first.
Well, there you go. Okay.
But we also got Kincaid. So we got Josh and Kincaid for that one.
Perfect. I'm just like, I don't understand. That's not the way that I like doing things, but you got the best asset. Bijan, Kyron Williams, love that. Chris Olave, DJ Moore, the stack. We don't see a whole lot of stacks in Dynasty. Rome Odunze should take a step forward. Now we get into a little bit of questionable territory, right? Rico Dowdle, what does that look like at Pittsburgh this year? DK Metcalf, another Pittsburgh guy with noodle arm Aaron Rodgers coming back into town. That could be a bit of trouble. You guys could run into some issues down the road in your flex spots if the Pittsburgh offense underperforms again. You also have 3 quarterbacks on the roster. Not a huge fan of that construction. I think it's a wasted roster spot. There's other higher upside things there. But, Tyler Algier, nice depth piece to Jeremiah Love. Jerome Ford might make the roster, probably will, might not. Brian Robinson backing up Bijan. Jordan Mason, kind of just a guy there. There's a lot of ifs and whats and buts when it comes to the depth pieces, but the overall starting, that first 5 or 6, that first 6, probably the best that we have in this league.
Jonathan has a super here. If my mom had balls, she'd be my dad, as far as Kincaid being a top 5 if he played all year. Thank you, Jonathan. And you know what? I see if Kincaid, the problem isn't health for me as much with Kincaid is snap share, right? He's never eclipsed 50% over an extended period of time because they don't trust him blocking.
Yep.
And Dawson Knox is still there. So if we all agree, if Dalton Kincaid played 70% of the snaps, give him Kyle Pitts snap share and roll, he'd be a top 5 tight end. It's just we have yet to see it, and we have to see a huge shift. And I know they have different, Joe Brady is now the head coach, but he was the offensive coordinator. So really, it's not really a new staff because Joe Brady is just now moving down from the booth. But who knows? I see the upside. I'm just not a Kincaid guy.
Fair take.
Yeah, and then
let's move on to the running back. So Bijan and Kyron Williams. Bijan, we have Jahmyr Gibbs. You have Bijan. I think I like Bijan better in Dynasty for the long run because his build. I like Gibbs better in the short term because of the Montgomery departure. But at full PPR, Bijan, smash, smash, smash. I'm not a Kyron guy, but they paid him, right? We have Blake Corum. We love Blake Corum. So we have opposites there. But this is a hell of a duo here at running back for you guys.
Yeah, we really liked it. And I think Kyron's kind of getting a little bit of short end of the stick. But I think if you kind of look at it, I think they do a really good job there of using Corum to kind of keep Kyron, ready to roll. He gets good breathers, and it keeps him, churning out those 1,100 yard seasons with that. Let's hope this year 10 plus touchdowns. I think it's a great play. It's a great play, and especially where we got him at.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. I was hoping he'd fall into us, and he didn't make it. So again, tip of the cap to the guy who boogered me. But it's the onesie positions are really hard to invest a lot in Dynasty for me, right? And that's where I get a little bit hung up. And I don't want to talk about tight end anymore. It's not tight end premium. We don't need to beat that dead horse. And moving up and given what you gave up for Allen to get an 8th, I think is what you said, and that's fine. But to give it up and say you got Kincaid, I don't think that's a bragging point necessarily.
Not yet.
Receivers for me, Olave is a stiff breeze away from never playing football again. He's also an elite talent who's going to ball out like he did last year. So having him as your 2 or as your 1, great. Moore, I'm a big Moore truther. His age is a little concerned. Odunze, though, is the pick for me, man. I got a bunch of Bears fans all around me in the Chicago area here. As you can see behind me, I'm not that guy. I root for Chicago / Hammond every chance I get when they don't play San Francisco. But Odunze is the guy, man. People are so hell-bent on Burden, and I think Burden's going to be the 3rd best receiving target in that offense this year behind Odunze and Loveland.
I think that works perfectly if it works out that way, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some lingering concerns about Rome Odunze's foot and how it has healed. Hopefully, it is a non-issue come September, but there is concerns that he could forever be altered.
Yeah, I've heard the news. I'm not scared, man.
There's concerns for like 70% of every player.
Also, Luka Burden in the back half of the year had the 3rd highest yards per route run behind Puka and JSN. So
we wanted Burden. That's the guy that we wanted.
Throwing that out there.
I'm not going to get recency bias over here.
Yeah.
Man.
I think a big thing too is Rome was still working back from injury, and then Burton kind of was like sneaky. And listen, this is coming from a Bears fan, so I'm trying not to be biased, but I feel like Rome I feel Luther did a great job of kind of being sneaky towards the end of the year, where people weren't really eyes on, and then he was able to kind of take advantage of that, being that like second or third option in the office, where he was able to kind of take advantage and kind of really put some on some people.
Yeah, I want to make a point here too. Like Rocco and I were doing this. I was on a 5-hour time change. He was on a vacation with his family. We're trying to find times where we can do things. We don't have the time that you guys have. We were on the clock all the time and fighting that clock to the last minute, figuring out how we're going to do it. So look, I'm not making excuses by any means. We love our fucking team. Let's put it that way. No matter what the grade is, we loved it. We play for now, not the future. Giving up a number 1 draft pick. If we win this league this year, which look, everyone wants to win the league this year. If we win this league this year, what number are we? Number 12. If I take a number 12 pick in the draft, I don't even know the top 6 how they're going to do, let alone the top 12. So I'd rather have an 8th round pick in Kincaid that's 25 years old that can light it up versus a 1st round draft pick that be a bust in 2 days.
Quite possible.
I love how you guys keep on saying you don't have the time. They're just referring to me, guys, because I have all the time in the world, apparently, which I do. I mean, I put a lot into the show.
No,
I'm not mentioning anybody's time.
Job, man. Hey, look, like, I don't want to take anything.
Well, no, yeah, me.
What you do, I'm very envious.
Nico and Storey are actually they're actually professional people. Nick O is the best dad I know, so don't throw them in there with me. I'm the one that has all the time in the world, but I also masturbate a lot.
Well,
so that takes up literally like 3 hours a day.
Yeah, I know you. I don't know them.
I just can't finish. I just can't finish, guys. I don't know what the hell the problem is.
I know Storey well.
All right.
Storey, Nico's new. Me and Nick, hey, we just became best friends, Nico. Like after like 2 seconds of talking to you, you might be this wild card that we invite to guys trips on a regular.
We're gonna get
Storey,
some whiskey.
You'd always be invited.
Yep.
So
we're gonna let our kids play together. We're gonna get some whiskey drinks, man. It's gonna be a good time.
Hey, ballers.
End of the day, though. It's not who has what time or who has what ability. We're calling it like we see it, and we're all very truthful individuals. And my opinion doesn't carry any more weight than yours, and we love it, dude. We're having the discussion, and then we're gonna share it. And it doesn't make it right or wrong, man. People are wrong every day. That's why we play this game.
I agree. We want players that we want, that we love, that we like to see play. Like look, there's analytics and numbers, and if there's anybody that's a numbers guy and looks like stats and all that, if I have the time to do all that with this, I love doing all that math. But sometimes
let's move on. Sorry, let's move on to the rest of this team. So we talk about the top end guys. I want to talk about the flexes and then the bench. One curious thing I had was the Bo Nix pick, and I love the pick in a vacuum, but with the Josh Allen selection, a guy that never misses games, I guess you have a nice trade piece there, and it's some insurance, but it's not like you have Lamar Jackson. Like with Lamar Jackson, I'd want to have Bo Nix, but like when is Bo Nix ever going to see your lineup? I guess is my thing.
Well, again, I mean, it's like you said, trade piece. That when you come to Dynasty leagues, then I'll let Rocco talk on this more. But when you talk to trade pieces, there's a lot going on with our bench that has to do with possible future assets. Like we don't care today in a startup league when it comes to a dynasty. We want players that could possibly win today. And look, he may not, but that might be a trade piece in the future. Not saying it is or isn't, but look, Allen's been healthy forever. Doesn't mean he's going to stay healthy. We don't know. He's young.
Good call. Okay, good call. Rico Dowdle and DK Metcalf. I love Rico Dowdle. I don't love the situation, but it's just a murky situation. I love me some DK Metcalf, DK Met Bull. That's probably the weakness of the team is the flexes. Let's take a look at the bench, though, and see what you have to back up. Jordan Mason could be, the 1A in that offense. I love Trey Harris, future prospects. Isaac Tesla is a nice wide receiver handcuff. And, with Jameson Williams not being the healthiest guy in the world. And Arondé Gatson so you have two nice tight ends, no third tight end there. Tyler Algier is a nice handcuff. So the bench is similar to Nick O's bench, I would say. But Bo Nix, a nice trade piece. Sam Darnold. Speak on your flexes. Do you have faith in both these guys? Because personally, I wouldn't want two Steelers on my team just because, what is the upside of that offense? 22nd in the league, maybe 20th? Or do you have more hope for them for that?
No, I think you're dead on. And actually, I brought this to Mike's attention earlier. Right now, I don't know who mentioned it earlier, but they were saying I just put the guys with the highest numbers in there just to kind of flex on it a little bit. I don't see those players possibly starting as far as Rico goes, I think that guy's proven over the last couple seasons that he deserves a shot. I don't know how that looks with that offense, and if Aaron Rodgers prefers to have the dump off piece or if he prefers to have Rico. But I think Rico's a good piece, and Jordan Mason could possibly very easily be in that spot that DK's in, depending on how things shake out during preseason and how that offense shapes out too. I think Mason faced a lot of heavy boxes last year because of the quarterback situation. They knew they were going to be a run first offense, even with those pieces, and it kind of showed based on how the Vikings offense played. So I think, with a healthy and decent quarterback play, Jordan Mason could get some more run, and that could be a really solid pick. And then we did target Harris and Tesla specifically, thinking that, they are definitely some high upside things that we can definitely see maybe, kind of coming in and filling in that back end wide receiver role, the number 3 spot possibly.
So can I ask you guys a question, man? Let's say hypothetically, Aaron Rodgers comes out week 1 and tears an Achilles. It's a hypothetical. I don't know how possible it is.
We saw it a couple of years ago.
But let's say that happens. Who are your 2 flexes then, man? Because you can't. I don't see how you flex the 2 guys you have if Aaron Rodgers is hurt early.
I mean that's. I don't think that's the play technically. Like first week starting, I don't know that you see Rico and DK in that position. I think Jordan Mason's a strong play for that. It's really hard right now not seeing the teams in camp and not seeing them playing, but I don't know what your guys' feelings are. I think Harris and Tesla are going to possibly make another step in their offenses. They both were playing strong towards the end of last year, so I think they're both options. Other than that, we do have some handcuff stuff, so it's kind of like a wait and see situation. This team our goal was to be competitive and possibly have something for the future. So I don't know if you guys see that or not, but I think the roster's built that you see that, right? Like they're definitely young. We didn't pick a bunch of old heads, but we definitely have some higher, hopefully potential upside guys that are going to help out.
It's high. The high end roster's elite. I mean, obviously look at Allen, Bijan, Kyron, Olave, Moore, even Odunze. And I know we were kind of shitting on that Odunze pick, not shitting on it because the foot injury, but it wasn't like you took Odunze ahead of Luther Burden. Like that would have been an issue. I think I want Luther Burden ahead of him in Dynasty.
I love the Odunze pick.
We would have taken Burden over Rocco. Am I right? Did we want Burden before Odunze? Just barely. Just barely.
I mean,
we were very,
if you're looking at it in a vacuum,
it wasn't even a 1B.
I think a lot of people are putting Luther ahead of him from a dynasty standpoint. I think pedigree and overall talent, though, it's
Odunze.
You'd have to say Odunze. I mean, just like base facts, right? So I think Odunze's he was picked to be that guy. If they walk away from that because Burden blows them out of the water, then that's something that we're just gonna have to live with.
I also feel like he's a guy that just I feel like he's a beast, man. I don't think I understand the foot injury. I think I know you're worried about it, Nick. I'm not. I just feel like he's a Josh.
I'm not. I'm the Odunze lover, brother.
Story's worried about
it. I'm just talking about the foot injury. We're worried about it. I don't really worry about the injury stuff in the future. We're never gonna freaking know.
Yeah,
but I just feel like Josh Allen plays injured all the time. I feel like Odunze's that guy that will be just a little bit worse, not a lot worse, just a little bit worse, even with an injury. Even if it's staggering, it doesn't matter. He's gonna be out there.
No, he's a dog. Truther. I want it to be known, man. I am the Odunze truther on this pod, dude. I am so
hoping you're right.
Burden.
He is. All right, let's do draft grades, guys. You two give us the draft grades of your team. What do you think? Try to be unbiased. A through F. What do you got?
Rocco, you go first.
I'm gonna say a C+. I do definitely love how the draft started. I think the thing that I hate the most is that we ended up with, if you look at the starting lineup right now, we have 3 Bills, which is fine because it's a high scoring offense, but then you also have 2 Steelers. Not that that's potentially how it's going to shake out, but and then as far as we got sniped a lot starting in probably round 8, 9, 10. I just feel like round after round, the guy that we thought was probably going to make it to us literally got picked. 2-3 picks beforehand.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at our text chain. It's just basically we were saying like who we wanted, and then they would get taken right away. So we were definitely pivoting a lot there. So it was a little bit of hampering, but I think the team's going to be competitive. It's just it's hard to say how great they're going to be.
Yeah, I'm a little different. I'm going to go B-. I feel like what really bothered me was I think we took 4 auto picks over the time frame where we took like Sam. Look, the Sam Darnold pick, I liked it. So did Rocco. Like that was the first auto pick. Then we took.
I had him in the queue though for that.
3 straight tight ends. And they're older. Like we didn't need them. We wanted one, but we also wanted this rookie guy. So I made a couple moves afterwards. But that was a tough stage for us where we auto picked 3 guys, and I didn't want to go back and start changing picks or even talk about it. But I feel like from what we had, I'd give us a B-.
We have a lot of nice grades in the chat. B+++ from Fantasy Dog. We have
Thank you, sir.
A. Someone says A. Who is this?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Lady Panther. This is a lady. Really good team for win now for sure. We have an A from Hetzer, wherever that is. A team. What do you guys have, Storey and Nico, for this squad?
Yeah, I don't mean to be too harsh, but I got to go C+. If you were just grading the first 6, awesome. A++ all the way through. But I feel like you're going to be juggling Gadsden and Kincaid every single week. I feel like your flexes are just going to be nightmares where you're trying to decide this guy, Jordan Mason, no pass catching upside whatsoever. You have to hope that Trey Harris plays in 2 wide receiver sets. You have to hope that Pat Bryant stays healthy, and he's got Jalen Waddle problem now. Tesla is certainly just a role player. So without those kind of backups in the flex spots and then the depth pieces, I worry that you guys are going to be just kind of pulling your hair out, trying to make the right decisions every single week. So I can see the future. I would rather you have that first round pick next year, but I can see the future. So it's just that, the back half of that roster is really rough. C+.
I agree.
Nope.
Man, I know we just became best friends, and that makes this a lot harder to say. You guys, in my opinion, put too much in the onesie positions, too much stock in the quarterbacks and the tight ends without a premium at tight end. The flex positions, like Storey said, are going to be tough to figure out. You sniped us a couple times. I really love the starting lineup. I'm nervous about Olave, but I like more in Odunze. I'm at a solid C, man, leaning a C- because of that bench. It makes me nervous.
I like it. I love when people give low grades. I like it, Nick.
Hey, we got a bunch of A's and then we got a bunch of C's. It's
technically C isn't that low. We have a lot of sharp people in here, so technically C is average.
You did move to best friend 1B, okay, not 1A though. Okay, 1A.
I tend to agree. I'm going to go C+. And I'm not. The upside is you have some of the best players in fantasy, right? If Chris Olave continues, I love Chris Olave. Allen Robinson, Kyron Williams will still be elite, borderline RB1. Olave, I love DJ Moore this year, and Roma Dunze, if he is that guy. Those guys are enough to carry you. And the fact that, I don't like getting too much on the Steelers, but it almost evens out having so much on the Bills because the Bills are a top 5 offense every year.
Yeah.
Tied to Josh Allen. That's safe as hell. I trust your guys.
Can I ask why you guys are shitting on Olave so much? I mean, I know he got last year, but I get it. I had 100 catches last year. 2 seasons ago, he had 87. I mean, he is the clear number 1, not even close option. Like, what's the shit on Olave for?
I'm not shitting on Olave. It's the Jordan Tyson pick a little bit. The Jordan Tyson.
Listen, I'm worried about rookies for an established guy who's crushing it in the league and considered a.
I had the most Chris Olave of anyone in the world last year. I love Chris Olave. I think he's going too high in redraft this year. I still like him here. I like him. I see him as a guy that's going to age well. I love him. He's not. He just doesn't quite have the upside as some of the other receivers in that area. But
if he does 100 catches, 1,300 yards, and 10 touchdowns, like he's likely going to do on a regular basis, I think he's.
Chuck's the question mark. He's not a
Nick said something about.
We saw it from a little bit.
Nick, you said something about Olave, like he's like one breath, like one blow.
It was a concussion thing.
Yeah, he did.
It was a concussion. We
He
kind of forgot about it.
Again.
He's a Tua.
One more
I don't know
concussion.
that.
Like
I don't know
in
that.
Dynasty, that concerns me. In redraft, I don't care if I lose a guy this year, but one concussion could end your career. I get anybody could, but this dude's had multiples, and you're counting on him to not get hit in the head, and you're counting on Shuck to continue with what we saw from him last year in the New Orleans team that is a little bit unproven, even though I love their weak division and I love the prospect of Shuck. I love the prospect of Olave and Tyson. Olave and Rice were very risky picks to me, and I'm not trying to do anything risky.
I have a counter. I have a counter for you guys real quick. Brandon Cooks. That's the upside argument. Brandon Cooks had 1 million concussions. He hasn't had one since. He's still in the league. And Kellen Moore, we all love. That is why we should love Chris Olave. I could give you arguments. It's like any other player on both ends of it.
A lot of plays every game, man. Which means
I would just say, like, even with those concussion problems, like he missed 8 games in 2024. Besides that, he's missed 1 game his entire career. So it's
correct. He's not injury prone.
There is those questions. It's just he hasn't missed the game. So
hey, I'm gonna tell you something to watch out for too, guys. Watch when we play Kincaid and Gadsden in the same game. They blow up for 60 on their own. Watch
I love it.
Flexing about starting 2 tight ends. I love it, guys. We got to get another guy in here. We got to get another team in here. Appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you, Campbell, for being one of my good buddies, also a supporter of the show. You don't have to do that. He does it because he loves me, and I think he loves the program as well. Rocco, appreciate you coming on and co-managing this team, helping out Mr. Campbell, who clearly does not have enough time to do this. He mentioned that about 3 times. We love you guys, man.
Hey, I love you guys, and thanks, Rocco, for joining me, man.
You're welcome. Pleasure, guys. Thank you.
All right.
Later, boys.
Later, guys.
Talk to you soon. All right, we have another special guest coming up here, and it is, drumroll, Mr. Dakota, Mr. LeBron James himself. Here you go, buddy.
You gotta throw out a big net to catch the fish that she was banging. Oh, party!
Is that the busboy from the Korean restaurant?
Yeah, she banged him.
So welcome in the busboy from the Korean restaurant. Dakota, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, Rob? What's going on? Nico, bang, bang. What's up, Storey? How we doing?
Before we get to your team, actually, let's get to Mark's team. Help us grade Mark's team, since I can't. I sent all the invites earlier. When I'm on the stream, I don't know if it's because there's so many people in here in the lobby that it won't let me invite somebody. So let's talk about Mark's team, and then we'll get to your team next. Is that cool, Dakota?
Perfect.
All right, Mean Muggin. This is Mark, the GOAT. What's going on? Let's get it. We have Lamar Jackson, Breece Hall, Jalen Warren, Justin Jefferson, Mekhi Lemon, Parker Washington, Trey McBride, Concepcion, and Isaiah Likely in the flex. Let's talk about this starting spot. So he went pretty heavy on onesies, guys, with Lamar and Trey McBride. He has one awesome running back in Breece Hall, one awesome receiver in Justin Jefferson. He has pillars at each position. But then you look at Jalen Warren, Mekhi Lemon, Parker Washington, Concepcion Likely. Dakota, I'll let you lead this one off. What do you think of this construction? Do you like the early onesies? I know you didn't like taking running backs. We'll get to that in a second.
I do think Breece Hall can be a really nice piece here, especially as that offense continues to build out. So I do like that piece. Really concerned with Warren. Lamar Jackson, of course, is going to be a top 5 quarterback, even at his worst, if he plays. Of course, if he doesn't, different issues. I think Jefferson comes back up. But yeah, Rob, like you kind of alluded to a little bit there, wide receivers, question marks. Trey McBride goes pretty high and could fall down a little bit in a non-tight end premium. Still a good player though. Casey Concepcion, I mean, I'm excited about him a little bit, but yet rookie, we haven't seen anything there. Second tight end in the flex. Yeah, there's a lot of question marks. Not sure. Not sure this is competing this year, but you never know.
It's a really young team. By the way, real quick, sorry, Nico, whenever you guys want to dip, you got to take off. I know you got to work super early, Nico.
No, man, I took tomorrow off just so I could stay on this pod late tonight, dude. I'm taking my own personal time away from work. I'm 8 hours paid just so I could be here with you all tonight. That's nothing to do with the fact it's my daughter's 7-year birthday tomorrow, and I'm going to spend the whole day with her.
We are going over Mark's team here since I couldn't invite him on the stream because he let me know too late. So we're grading this squad out. Storey, give me your initial impressions of this team. Obviously, the pillars, like I mentioned, Lamar, Jefferson, McBride, Breece Hall, super nice. And the other parts are young. So is this a win now team? Is this on the fence too much for you?
No, it's not a win now team. I'm with Dakota. I think that this is set up nicely. There's a lot of rookie wide receivers on here, right? Concepcion, Mekhi Lemon, what was it? Zachariah Branch, Kevin Coleman. So a lot of guys that could potentially move into starting roles in the future. The Warren situation, let's see what Pittsburgh looks like without or once they have replaced Aaron Rodgers. And it's not Mason dented can Rudolph. It is somebody probably in the draft next year. Jefferson's nice. I think Parker Washington is probably the guy there in Jacksonville. I mean, Brian Thompson's still going to get his. I don't like the idea of starting 2 tight ends. I'm not sure that that's what the plan is, but likely McBride. There's a lot of questionable picks that could set this team up for future years, right? Zach Charbonnet, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Woody Marks after a couple of years. David Montgomery's probably only going to be there a couple of years. Then it's Woody Marks after that. And then you got mixed in old guys that I'm not really sure what the purpose is. Cooper Kupp, Darnell Mooney, Marvin Mims. I know he's not old, but he doesn't produce much. So, yeah, I'm not enamored with this team. I think that with some right moves, the nice thing is got all his picks next year, got all his picks in 28, got all his picks in 29. With some right moves to prepare for the future, this could be a contender a couple of years down the road.
Yeah. Hey, Mouth, I got you to carry the show home since these guys are going to be on the whole time, and Chaz and Ray are coming on. I can't really – 6 people is going to be way too much. 5 was already tough to do with people talking over each other. It was tough, and I try to do my best. So, the rookie receivers, do you like them? Mekhi Lemon and Concepcion, like one of these guys should pop, right? Whether it's this year or in the future. Nico, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, Lemon, it certainly has every opportunity to at least make something as a ancillary piece this year. And then I think it's Concepcion. I'm Mormon on him. It's just not until they fix that quarterback room in Cleveland. Did you see the video from today's training camp with Shedeur Sanders literally throwing the ball into a lineman's arm? Where the lineman just gave up.
Dakota watched that as it was porn. He was just like, yeah.
Oh, dude.
I didn't see it. I don't think I want to watch it.
You don't want to watch it.
So hard at that, man. I laughed so hard at that. So, man, Lamar, right? Potential QB1. He's going to be right there with Allen. I don't know what it's going to look like going forward with the whole new coaching staff and coordinators. I was a big Monken fan when he came into Baltimore. I became a Lamar truther, and I don't think I was wrong on that. I don't know what Lamar is going to be going forward. I love Breece. I love his talent. I love what they've put around that team. The Warren as RB2 is sauce, dude. I'm very concerned with that. He may just be a workhorse guy, and there may be nobody else there. The rookies, I love Concepcion, man. Great dude. I love Lemon. Both those are great quarterbacks. I actually like Boston more than I like KC, and I don't know what Cleveland's going to do with that. I don't know what Watson's going to look like.
Getting the buzz in training camp, Nick.
I know, man. Washington, I don't think is the one there. I think it's Jacoby personally, and I think BTJ has still got some life left in him. Kind of hope he gets traded. I wanted to draft Thomas with the idea he got traded, but who knows? McBride, tight end 1. I mean, for what he had last year, he's got Brissett coming back again. I don't think Bowers is going to pass him with Mendoza and Cousins. So you're stacked at quarterback. You're stacked at tight end. Your RB1's beautiful. Your wide receiver 1, love it. So you got some pillars, but as we get past that, it gets thin. It gets perspective. It gets some maybes and some prognostication, as we cleared up earlier. Storey, thanks for the words. And it's a scary team this year, honestly. I'm nervous, but if some of these younger dudes pan out, I'm nervous what you're going to do to me in a few years.
You know what I like, though, is that we didn't mention Zach Charbonnet with all the recent news about him possibly being ready for week 1. I'm not a price guy. Like, Zach Charbonnet will probably be his RB2. And let's factor that in, that Charbonnet gives him some insurance for Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren's fine. Not great for dynasty purposes down the road, but this team should get carried off the back of 4 pillar players. I'm not saying I love it for this year, but Lamar, Breece Hall, Justin Jefferson, and Trey McBride, like those dudes are all top of their position. So you have a lot of upside there. And then you have the rookies. So it's just a weird build, right? Isaiah Likely, we didn't mention, also is going to be flex because Isaiah Likely's essentially going to be a top 10 tight end, top 8 tight end possibly without
Theo just disappears.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Theo Johnson.
Well, when Neighbors is out, though, when Neighbors is out to start the year, it's a fine flex.
But I don't think Theo disappears. Are you going to run 12 or 13 personnel in New York with Harbaugh? And then which running backs get work? Is Tracy catching balls? What's Scadaboo doing?
Yeah, I'm with Nick. I'm not so sure that Likely is immediately going to vault into top 10. He had many chances in Baltimore to do it, especially with dusty old Mark Andrews floating around, and they would rather give him a 3-year extension than let the young buck.
It's true.
You know, they had the old bull.
Had the old bull.
They didn't even want to see the young buck.
He does have all of his draft picks, though, so that is nice. So he has, even to almost above because a lot of teams are missing some. So this is a hard team to grade as well. What do you guys have for this team? Dakota, I'm going to start with you. What do you have for this team?
I understand the build and I see where it's going. Don't always like to punt in Dynasty, even though I do understand it. So I'm going to go with a C, just because there's a lot of question marks, and I'm not sure that they're making the playoffs this year.
Yeah, man, I'm with you.
Sorry.
I understand the play for the future. Not everybody can play for win now. There's teams that try to balance that. There's teams that are like, I'm doing all win now. There's teams that are like, I'm all future. And it's so hard to put just one grade on it, like a short-term grade. I'm not a fan, dude. I'm a dick, and I'm going to give you a D in a short-term grade. But in a long-term grade, this could be a B, man. Like we don't know how these guys are going to pan out. So short of me, again, I don't want to disrespect anybody, dude. I don't want to be a dick. But in the short term, dude, I'm a D+. Like where I'm at with what I know, but what I don't know could turn into a B+. Like. This is the hardest team I've had to grade all night, man. I love the pillars. I love some of the pieces. You sniped me on some of them. I love some of them. You got great value. So it's who knows, man. You can't just be like, this is what it is, like we all got our ideas. So mad respect for putting the pillars that you did in. And if you handle this team right going forward, mad contender, dude, with those pillars. Like you're going.
What do you got, Storey?
Dude, you're going to curb stomp in a few years.
Nick doesn't want to beat anybody when they're not here, but he will pee on your team. Very, very obviously. C-. So I'd hate to again. I don't want to be that guy that shits on somebody when they're not here to defend. I would love to hear the reasoning behind some of the picks. I'm sure there is some logic behind some of them. I don't see it. It's a very confusing team to me. I do think that they're set up for success in the future with some of these guys. One of these rookie wide receivers should break out. To that end, it's a C- for me. I do like the potential for the future down the road with the draft picks.
It's so young, though. I mean, outside of like Cooper Kupp and Mooney, and then in the starting lineup, there is not a single player besides Lamar Jackson that's even close to 30 years old. Besides Justin Jefferson, who is going to be, he's going to age gracefully. I think we all agree Justin Jefferson's the GOAT. So. Man, I'm in the C range. It is a confusing team, and I think he has potential to, if he wants to trade, Lamar or Trey McBride, he can really go into this rebuild. But let's see how it shakes out. He has the elite upside here of, the pillars. I keep on mentioning they're elite pillars, so it's a tough team to grade. We got to get to Dakota's team. Mark, if you're in the chat, let us know, what do you think of this team? What did you have a grade for this team? I know he was questioning a couple picks he made. Before I do that, I do want to just shout out to the people, and a lot of these people we've seen on the show that are supporting us, and some of the new guys in here. Keith, we have GM who just signed up. We appreciate all you guys. If you want to join the community, we're doing a lot of great things, including stuff like this on this program. So we have a lot of redrafts to sign up for. We'll do similar shows like this. Get in the community. There's a lot of perks. You guys see them. There's a lot, as well as the bets, guys, which we crush. We love having you guys on the show. The Discord's the place to be. Community leagues, free merchandise. Get the hat, get the shirts, hang out, talk some ball. with me and Storey and Dakota and Mouth and Ray, and the list goes on and on. We're building an army over here. So go to the website, go to the link in the description, sign up, get in there, and hang out with us because we need your support, and we like having good people. All these people are awesome, right? Have we had one dick on here yet besides Nick?
Tonight or in general?
Tonight.
There was that guy that kept talking about
if you
taking
give a
bath
D
in your
grade,
mouth.
you're a dick, dude. I'm sorry. Like, I'm a dick, but I'm gonna call it like I see it. Like, my wife's like, "Hey, I made this new meal tonight. What do you think?" And we like, this tastes like dicks and balls, dude. Don't make it again. Like, I'm a straight fucking shooter, man. Like, I'm sorry, dude. I'm gonna call it like I see it and how I feel about it. It doesn't mean I'm right, dude. I'm wrong all the time, honestly,
No,
all
you're
the
not.
time. So don't put a lot of stock in my dickisms, but I'm giving you one. I'm sorry.
All right, so let's go on to Dakota's team here, who has probably the most interesting team because, Dakota, I felt like you had a chance to almost lap the field with the PPR assets you built, and you chose to punt running back, and you played for the future more, which I thought you could have played for the future and now, but you really dove into the future. We're going to go to your draft capital first, which is immense, and the team is good. So you have two first rounders. You have 2 first rounders next year as well, so 28 and 27. So you have 4 first rounders next 2 years and all your other picks. This is what's up right here. Talk about the roster and talk about how you took 2 quarterbacks before you took your first running backs, just stuff like that, and just enlighten us.
Talk about how you took those quarterbacks before you took Hurts. Just curious.
Yeah, so get the luck of the draw, drop on the 101. Immediately, no, I don't want to pick there. So what I'm really trying to do is move to the end of the first and the front of the second. Did not want to be in the 6th and 7th round. Really felt there was a huge teardrop there. So luckily, was able to make that move with Mouth, and he was happy with that, and I was able to make that move and move out. And so with that strategy for me in PPR, I'm 26 and younger. I'm looking for guys that are going to catch balls. And so that's really what I went for with the first 6. And I think, Rob, that's what you're alluding to as you thought that played out really well. I'm going to jump into the 2 quarterbacks. So again, I'm looking for value in Dynasty. And when guys are just drafting 2 running backs, I think there were multiple teams that had 2 running backs in their first 3 picks. There's going to be no value in running back when there's really not many good running backs. So I'm punting that position. I was able to grab a couple picks, and I have some move room there as well. But honestly, if a couple of these guys can squeeze in and floor me at 9 to 10 points a week, I still think I'm competitive. Going with the 2 quarterbacks, they're both 26 years old. One finishes QB4. The other one would have pushed for the MVP had he played a full season. He missed 8 games last year. I look at the top quarterback, Josh Allen. I see he had 8 games last year, 25 points or more. I put Purdy and Lawrence together, 8 games, and this is with Purdy missing 8 games. They combined had 8 games, 25 points or more. Josh Allen went 40 points or more 3 times. Purdy and Lawrence did it 3 times together and they had a 50-point game. So I'm excited about the potential of those 2 together. And that's 5, 6 years, 10 years down the road for the 2 of them. I think they're both just getting better. So for me, it was a no-brainer. Don't want anything to do with Philadelphia right now. Understand there's value there, but just in a startup, don't want anything to do with that.
Beautiful.
All right, Nico, what do you think about the 0 running back and the dual quarterbacks? You're a Niners guy, so obviously he's really high on Brock Purdy. I have the Brock Purdy 20-1 MVP bet, so I like him as well in fantasy. I don't like taking him ahead of Hurts or Mahomes, but I think he was going more the long game, which I like Mahomes more in the long game than Hurts. Just give me your pulse on this team.
Yeah, dude, I'm with it. I love T-Law. I was a T-Law truther for a long time, and I got burnt a few times, and now he's fallen out of favor with me personally. He's like what do you call it, a dingleberry? Like the little dirty turd that hangs on my butt hairs. That's what T-Law is to me now. Purdy, I still love, though. And I don't hate those 2 picks, and I understand it because of how I was a T-Law truther for a long time. So beautiful 2 picks back to back, young guys. Like you got nothing to worry about for a long time with them, man. And I love that. And letting Hurts fall to me was also a beautiful thing. I fucking hate Hurts and I hate Philly, but I gotta take what I'm dealt. The running backs though, bro, I can't get past it. Dude. Sketchy and scary and sussy and every other word my 12-year-old daughter taught me about. Stay the fuck away from that. Man,
12-year-old daughter swears like a sailor then.
Yeah, dude, I'm training them right. Storey, you're gonna learn if you have them. If you don't, dude, props to you. Like shit, there's a world where I love people that don't have kids, and I'm fucking secretly jelly. I would never admit it in front of my own kids or my own wife, but shit. If you just get to do what you do, like put the little stickers on the back of your car that are like bags of money and be like, I didn't have kids, and you just got bags of money on the back of your shit. That's a thing. But I love my daughters to death. The receivers are disgusting. Garrett Wilson should be a fucking 1, and he's your 3. Like, unbelievable. I love your quarterbacks. Your receivers are the most disgusting thing I've ever fucking seen. Nobody in Dynasty or redraft should have any business having those 3 in their starting lineup. And then Bowers on top of it, like, so nasty, dude. Like, and I want Thomas, so let's talk offline. Trade me fucking some BTJs if you would, please. But man, your team is so stacked outside of running back, but it's a short-lived position. It's a fragile position. It's a very replaceable position. And Dynasty, if you're going to be light or weak anywhere, that's where you want to be light or weak. And you stacked your squad, man. Love it. Absolutely love your team. Love your build. Your running backs are hot garbage. It doesn't matter in 1 year. That really doesn't, dude. You can have a dumpster fire at running back in 1 year, and you can light the league on fire the next year. And you are so solid besides that. I'm all in on this team.
The word is, Storey, I'll get to your opinion here in a second. The word is you're flexible because you have all the picks. And as currently constructed, if you don't make any moves, I don't know if this team could win a championship with Rashad White and Emmanuel Wilson. But all you have to do is just find a team that's tanking, and they have Saquon Barkley or whoever else, and trade a first and a second. And now you have the best team in the league, and you're not actually sacrificing too much of your future because you have so much of it. That's what makes it seem so dangerous. I just wish you didn't take the back-to-back quarterbacks. I think you could have accomplished the same thing and rolled with Brock Purdy. Trust Brock Purdy. I don't get the Trevor Lawrence thing. Or take fucking Patrick Mahomes. I know you hate Mahomes, but it's Patrick Mahomes. You don't have to worry about it. You got to take a Mahomes and Dak like we did, or taking Kyler Murray late, as an upside flyer. That's just my thing, but I'm just nitpicking your team because this team is fucking disgusting in a good way. Storey, what's your take?
Why 4 quarterbacks? Why 4 tight ends?
What?
Because he loves Deshaun Watson and he can't have a team without Deshaun Watson on it.
Yeah, but you're limiting upside here. I'm not as enamored with Dakota. No offense, Dakota. I'm not as enamored with this team as these guys are because
he knows the worst quarterback in the fucking league, dude.
That's why. Yeah, why is he on a roster? Period. And I get why Dynasty, but Trevor.
No, I don't know why he's on this roster.
Yeah,
he should be on a roster.
But Mason Taylor, Hunter Henry, Pat Freiermuth. When you have Brock Bowers, I don't understand the point. And you got 2 guys in your taxi squad. I think you're wasting bench spots where you could be having high upside guys that could be future picks or future stars in this league. And you got Mike Washington, nice backup there. But some of the other and you got picks galore. I don't see this team competing this year. You got a nice solid trio of wide receivers. Your quarterbacks are fine. You got Brock Bowers, but running backs leave a lot to be desired here. And you're just wasting. Honest to God, you're wasting roster spots. Caleb Johnson right now is a waste of a roster spot. Travis Hunter is a waste of a roster spot. Jahan Dotson is a waste of a roster spot. And then you're I don't like it. No offense, Dakota. I don't understand it.
Hey, no.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I got something here. Here we go.
You know what really grinds my gears? This Lindsay Lohan. Eh? Lindsay Lohan with all those little outfits, jumping around there on stage, half naked with your little outfits. You're up there jumping around, and I'm just sitting here with my beer. So, what am I supposed to do? What do you want? You know, are we going to go out? Is that what you're trying to? Why you leaping around there, throwing those things all up over there in my face? Huh? What do you want, Lindsay? Tell me what you want.
What am I supposed
What
to
do you
do?
want?
Dakota needs a rebuttal real quick. I will say this. Storey, those are all very valid points. I don't understand this bench at all, but I don't think it's going to matter because all the future picks he has, and London, Pickens, Wilson, Brian Thomas, Marvin Harrison with Brock Bowers and 2 quarterback 1 potentials. Like, the running backs are off, like the worst I've ever seen, and the bench is just a mess. But the start of this draft was probably the best thing I've ever seen. And when I saw this, I was like, we're fucked. We lost. And you came back to us, but you have the future pick. So you have this. The name of this team is flexibility. You have the flexibility. Explain the quarterbacks and tight ends and all that situation.
Yeah, so I already talked about the top 2. So they're the guys. And number one, first thing I said, I'm drafting value. I'm not drafting team build. I'm not drafting anything in Dynasty but value, because you guys are going to need things throughout the season. There's pieces. I'm going to take Travis Hunter, and I'm pretty sure I took Travis Hunter over any running backs because if Travis Hunter hits and Travis Hunter plays, whether it be a 5% chance, that dude has potential to be a top 12 wide receiver. I'm going to take that shot over reaching on a piece of trash running back. And that was all that was left there. So I understand for best ball and we want to say, oh, this guy's going to be great and this guy's going to have a role in 2026. I want nothing to do with that in Dynasty. That's just my outlook, and I appreciate, obviously everyone else's as well. So I'm going to take guys like Caleb Johnson in case somebody trips, slips, breaks an ankle, and he gets a shot, and he's that guy. I'm going to do the same thing with Devin Neal. I'm going to take those type of shots way over taking Gainwell or taking, some of those other guys.
On the running backs, I get it, brother. It's a good call on the running backs.
I don't hate the Travis Hunter pick. I hate his situation, but the point is, he better have top 12 potential because they took him top 5 in the draft and traded up, number 2 in the draft, and traded up to get him. So, that's the logic there. This is this is like the ultimate depreciated asset because Travis Hunter was valued so high last year, and it's the team he's on and the playing defense thing. Like, it's just stuff we've never seen before. But I don't really hate that pick. I hate taking that pick over your first running back. But obviously, you have a plan in place. My biggest thing, I think our biggest thing, is the quarterbacks and the tight ends. When you have 2 good ones and you have Brock Bowers, is Mason. I love Mason Taylor, but Hunter Henry and Pat Freiermuth, I think that is, like Mike Storey said, dead weight. What do you think?
Yeah. So again, Carson Beck is a late round flyer. If he plays, he might have some value. If not, fine, put him on there. I picked up Geno Smith once I put him on the taxi, right? So I just picked up Geno just in case Geno decides that he was embarrassed by last year and wants to come out and play a little bit this year. Maybe quarterbacks get hurt.
Geno's going to get the Jets' number 1 pick. That's what Geno's going to do. Same thing he did for the Raiders, brother.
He very well could, but he also could be embarrassed by what he put on the field last year because that was pathetic.
That was so bad.
Deshaun Watson, again, going to take a flyer on Deshaun Watson late, sort of as a joke, but also sort of as, Shador just can't play right now.
That's a way better pick than Geno.
I know Rob will try to convince me he can, and that's okay. But I think the tape today showed he just cannot play.
Watson's a way better pick than Geno Smith, dude. His chances of showing out are so much better than Geno, man. Drop Geno for I don't even know, dude. Whatever you feel like.
But, right. There's nothing out there. So
yeah, dude. Watson is the one, not Geno.
Yep. And again, so I took Mason Taylor, 2nd round pick. I just think he plays. I think he has value. I don't trust in Sadiq. Call me crazy. I've been wrong before, but that's just a feeling I have. I took Hunter Henry and Freiermuth just in case. Things happen, especially when your tight end is as athletic and out there getting hit like rookie quarterbacks are gonna let him get hit this year. May need a backup at tight end. So that's just kind of why I'm there. Obviously, Bo Kircher is probably never going to catch more than 12 balls a year. But again, late round flyer. Not a Katron Allen fan either, but again, just needs some upside. potential at running back. So that's
Gotta
where
put
we're
someone-
at.
Yep. Got to put someone in the TS.
All right, draft grades. What do we have? Dakota, give us a draft grade for your team, all encompassing, because you have all these draft picks I have right here on the screen. 2 firsts this year and next year, 2027 and 2028. So flexibility, like I said, you have that more than anyone, but you have no running backs. So give me the all encompassing grade for this team. How did it come out for you?
Yeah.
Do you like it? And can you win this year?
I think looking at my team, I can package a 27 and a 28. I can do that twice and go out and get top 10 running backs. And if I do that, you know, I don't know what is the grade, but I'll give myself a B+. I like my team.
Storey?
C. It's a C. And Dakota, you play fantasy differently than me. Everything you said about why Mason Taylor, why Hunter Henry, why Freiermuth, it makes sense. Everything you said about Deshaun Watson, Geno Smith, it makes sense. But to me, why do you individually they make sense if you're taking one of these guys, taking 3 of them and then 3 of them? Who are you going to play on a week-to-week basis? Purdy, Lawrence. You're going to play matchups. You're going to make wrong decisions. You're going to be tearing your hair out. You should be either all in or all out. So I love the back end stuff. The 27 picks that you have, I think you're right. I think you got opportunity, but you also we need Brian Thomas to get back to what he was. You need Marvin Harrison to actually be what he can be. So a lot of ifs there. So sorry, Dakota, middle of the road for me. It's a C.
Nico?
Oh man, Dakota, if I gave you anything better than my dick rating I gave the last team because I knocked their bench and because I knocked whatever else, I'd feel rude about it. The running backs are so sketchy here, dude. I'm so nervous about them. The future, though, is these receivers with what you can put on this team with the quarterbacks that you have and with the receivers that you have, if you can put some future running backs, and we got some really good running backs coming out in the next year or two in the draft, your team will be stacked AF, dude. But this year with what you currently have, man, I'm like a D+, dude. I'm like a
Are you guys taking crazy pills? He has 2 extra first rounders, so you have to factor that in.
I'm nervous.
He can easily move those. So his roster is not his roster. I know we're grading it for now, but
it's not.
Okay. Well, I get we're grading for now, but we are talking unrealized gains here. It's nice to accumulate picks, but if you can't find the right partners with which to trade, then you have all you have is the good feeling of having these picks on the roster. So
and that's why we
accumulate, but it's got to come together. And
you want to do a short term? You want to do a long term? Like, how do you want to grade this? Because long term, his team is stacked AF, dude, and he's getting a A- long term, and he's getting a D+ short term because I'm so scared of his running backs and cousins.
But it doesn't matter when you have London Pickens, Wilson, Bowers, Brian Thomas, and Marvin Harrison. One of those last 2 I mentioned are going to pop off. I promise.
I have not said anything yet, but I will not stand by and let you throw Marvin Harrison in with George Pickens and Brock Bowers and all that. I will.
That's his flexes. We looked at the other team's flexes. This team does not have a flex problem, and it's PPR. He played this perfectly. Again, the bench is terrible. It makes no sense. The running backs are literally the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm giving this an A-. I'm giving this an A-. A-. This is how you build a fucking team. And Dakota fucking built a team. And he has a plan in place. And one thing I give Dakota some respect here, I know he has a plan in place. A-. And the thing is, he could have had an A+. Dakota, if you were me, if I were you, I would have made this an A+ with that start. But you have a different vision, and I don't know what it is. But I think you have something, and I'm giving this an A-.
I give him an A- in the short term, and I give him a D+ in the long term, dude. It's 2 different things. It's 2 different things.
He's one move away from making this team a juggernaut. What if you just add Saquon Barkley to this roster? He can do it easily.
Because your RB2 is Emmanuel Wilson, who's being outperformed by George Holani in camp right now.
He's the number 3 running back, dude.
Yeah.
He's got
I know
RB3s. And 1 RB2.
I like this team. We all see that this is a very divisive team. I think we can all agree on that. I love the build.
That being said, Brian Thomas Jr. for one of my running backs. Let's go. Trade me something. Shit.
Could my top 5 running back or top 5 receivers, could they all be top 30 guys in 2026? in PPR?
Potentially.
Top 30, that's the question.
I've got no qualms with London Pickens and Wilson.
Yeah.
I have big question marks about Brian Thomas and Marvin Harrison. Like, I think those guys are probably top 36 guys, probably, but I don't know, man. There's a lot of maybes about Brian Thomas and that whole Jaguars offense moving towards 12 personnel.
He's going to be on the field every snap. That's good for him. He's not coming off the field. Brian Thomas? Come on, man. For Parker Washington and fucking Jacoby Myers?
Yo,
that's nuts.
Washington and Myers, dude. Washington.
All right, we gotta move on to Jonathan's team. Dakota, we love you as always. Storey's out of town for the next 10 days.
No shade. We love you very much.
All right.
Yes, dude.
You're gonna see Dakota coming on here, so we love him. We love his.
That's a solid squad, dude. Your running backs just scare me. I love you. I love your squad, man.
For sure. If you liked my running backs, I would be so excited that I was playing you in this league. So I completely understand that and I appreciate it. So thanks so much, guys.
Give me an innie, bro.
All right, we still have. Let's see. So we have Jonathan coming on now, and then Ray and Chaz, and then MVP, and then Mouth's gonna take us home. We're gonna go through everyone's team again with Mouth finishing out the show. I'm guessing other guys.
On, dude. Mouth, I don't know about that guy.
All right, Dakota, we love you. We appreciate you. We will talk to you soon. How do I get him off here? There's a lot going on here.
Oh,
all right. There's a lot going on. Maybe the booze is kicking in a little bit. It's like the scene. It's like the scene from Fear and Loathing when I'm in the lobby and all of a sudden there's dinosaurs around me, and I'm not speaking of TJ Hawkinson, who's not a dinosaur, by the way, Storey, but you think he is.
Yeah,
all right.
I know
Jonathan joining us, the man that in the chat yesterday or 2 days ago said that racing, we got you, said that racing was more of a sport than golf. Storey said fucking golf wasn't even a sport. What the hell, man?
We have guests.
There's the intro for Jonathan. That's from The Burbs, one of my favorite all-time movies. Jonathan, what's going on, man? You got us,
you guys
Jonathan?
Hear me?
Yeah. We're good. We got you. We're here to talk about your team. I got it pulled up here. Give us a minute or two on your thought process. What'd you think? Do you like your team? All those things. I don't know if you can hear us. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I got you, Rob. I don't know what's up with.
Can you hear me? I can hear you guys, but I can't hear Rob.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I got you.
Either way. So, tell Jonathan what to do since you can't hear me.
Give us a rundown on your team, man. Let us know how you feel about it, man.
I feel good. I mean,
minuses, loves, dislikes. Where are you at, man? What do you got?
I'm pretty stoked about this team, honestly. I mean, I think I got a pretty good mix of young guys.
Yeah, you're doubling up with Herbert and Q to just start with, right? No, McConkey, my bad, dude.
No, McConkey. I would never take QJ that early.
Yeah, my bad.
Ibuka, McConkey, right? Judkins, Javonte Williams.
Yeah, I went wide receiver heavy really quick.
Derrick Henry, Bucky Irving, so on and so forth. Did we lose
Rob? Bucky,
No, I'm here. I think everyone can hear me, but Jonathan.
I traded back up into the 6th to grab him because it's kind of like I like it as a free pick at that point, especially if he's healthy. I mean, stacking up at running back, you're able to kind of have some trade pieces later on if I want to get back into the first round of next year with Derrick Henry, Buck Irving, and Williams.
Yeah. So, elephant in the room, the tight end situation. Not ideal, right? Gunnar Helm, Terrence Ferguson, Eli Stowers. None of those guys are starters day one. Do you have a plan to address that, or are you just going to roll with one of these guys? And
it's what position do we stream the most in fantasy?
It's tight end. It's just more difficult in Dynasty.
You punt tight
when
end.
you got
Stowers looks Dynasty, like a fucking monster, dude. He should be the starter very, very soon, in my opinion. But this ain't my team.
I'm looking at it as I just got to worry about streaming Gunnar Helm, and Ferguson. And then I just waited out till next year as far as Stowers goes, if he turns out. But I mean, Helm's a sleeper, honestly. I mean, he didn't get as much love as he should have last year, having to share stuff with Chig. And I know they got Bellinger in there, but like, I mean, if you watch Bellinger when he's with Dayball, he's just there to be a guy.
Yeah.
He's just a guy, and I don't think Helm's just a guy. I mean,
I honestly think that's the one weakness on this team. Cards on the table. I love it. I love this team so much. Like, you have put together a stunning roster that should compete for the next couple of years, easily 2-3 years. Judkins, Derrick Henry, he's not going anywhere. I know people are off of him, but he's not going anywhere. Nakua,
and then I mean,
Buka, Javonte Williams is a nice flex spot for now. Bucky Irving could take that job back. I'm not the biggest guy on Stroud or Herbert, but they're awesome for the rest of the roster that you put around them. Plus, you got guys that I love on the bench that can ascend to starting positions. Jonah Coleman, Jalen Coker, Torrey Horton, Antonio Williams, Ted Hurst. Man, you are set up. I am in love with this team.
Jonathan's a boss, dude. Honestly, Coker got extended right now, right? I made a trade with him because I didn't have a 6. I didn't have a 4. Wherever way I moved around, he pulled Quinn Sean, dude, which was beautiful for him. Henry, the ageless wonder, but a year or two, and that's what we keep saying all night tonight is you can't play Dynasty past 2 or 3 years. Herbert was one of my favorite Dynasty targets. Puka, if he keeps his nose clean, beautiful lad, huge bounce back candidate. Egbuka, a steal where he got him, dude. I loved Egbuka. I was considering him a round or two earlier, and then I don't got a 4th, so I can't take him. Right? I don't have this, like I can't take him. Like things were moved around with that. Tight end's the least important position in all of fantasy football, and to punt that in fantasy dynasty is super important. And I did it to a point, and ended up with Pitts after Fannin, and I felt good about it. But dude, outside, and Javonte Williams this year's a stud. Jonathan, you and I, dude, we were chirping back and forth, and your team, man, you got a squad. You're going to compete this year, and you got some young dudes, but you got enough to replace the old dudes. I'm a little nervous about your team, man. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, Antonio Williams, people are if Ayuk doesn't go to Washington, if he ends up, being a dipshit that everybody thinks he is, but I think that's tit for tat with him and the 49ers right now, to be honest with you. But if he doesn't go there and Antonio Williams ends up being the wide receiver too there, I mean, dude, like you watch his film, it's like he's a route runner. And the way Jane Daniels plays football and what he needs the most is somebody to get open over the middle and be able to be kind of like what Hurts was for him. I mean, I know Chig's there, but like when you can replace that with somebody like with the route running skills that Antonio Williams has, I mean, if he could stay healthy, if he would have stayed healthy his senior year, he probably would have been a 1st round, if not an early 2nd round pick in the draft this year, honestly.
You took a few of my targets personally. I don't know how Mike and Rob feel about this, but
I still can't hear Rob. I don't know if he's talking or not.
No, I haven't been. I think I'm muted on your thing.
I can't hear him at all this whole time.
Tell him.
You might have muted Rob specifically because Nick and I can still hear him.
Yeah,
I don't know how you mute him.
We got you, so I don't know how that's playing out, but
that's weird.
Maybe it's a mental block.
I'll let you guys kind of talk through it since he can't hear me, and
I'd love to hear what he's
I'll give my words real quick. So I love this team. I don't love,
but yeah, I mean,
the running back.
We've talked about Addison. I mean, Addison, if he keeps his nose clean and he ends up not re-signing with Minnesota and goes somewhere, he can be a 1 somewhere. If somebody puts him in a Z and he can play the same position as a Buka.
He's fine if he stays there, brother.
He is too, exactly. People are worried about.
You got him. He's fine.
Oh yeah, I think I got him. What round did I end up getting him in? I think it was.
I targeted
round because that's why I doubled up
Williams. I targeted Horton. Like it's all those 3 were huge targets on my board that you thanked me from, and I liked Addison late. Ayuk, I think, is a wasted pick who's never going to play again. He rehabbed.
So I doubled up in the 7th though, because then if I doubled up in the 7th, so I could take Herbert and not have to worry about it, and then get Addison right away. So then I could just throw Ayuk in there just in case. Because I mean, some of the other wide receivers, I mean. Torrey Horton, people are sleeping on Torrey Horton. Once Cooper is gone from there, I swear it's Torrey Horton is bombs. 13 receptions, 5 touchdowns last year.
Yep. He
All
started.
right, guys. We got to do draft grades. You
And
got
the
to
whole reason why
communicate
he
to him
got
for
hurt,
me, so
is
you got to
because he
host this
rushed
one.
back after he tore his ACL in college to make it to the combine. And usually when you do that, you're going to have some residual either hamstring issues or shin issues coming from a medical background.
But
and
he doesn't.
that's kind of what happened to him.
Yeah. So for me, I liked everything about this team with the exception of you did mortgage a little bit of the 27 class, which for me is my favorite class in the next 5 years, looking at some of the guys that are coming in right now. So you did mortgage that. So it's an A- in general for me. I told you why I liked everything about it. I also like your taxi squad. We haven't talked much about the taxi squad team tonight, but I do
Bryce
like
Lance is awesome
in particular. So yeah, Jonathan, what do you give yourself? I mean, you seem pretty high on this team in general.
I give myself at least a solid A because I know I gave away a lot of like capital in 27, but if you look at the youth of my wide receivers, and it's almost like if you think about it, like think about if those guys, if Emeka and Ladd end up in the rookie draft of next year, where are they going to go?
Yeah, good point.
Where would they end up being? And same thing as somebody said before, this team is not going to be, my first round pick is not going to be the first 5 picks next year.
It's not, man. It's not.
So
You got a
it's
squad
kind of like
here.
I'd rather get that extra pick to be able to get Quinshon like I did in the 4th, so I can double up there and get Quinshon and Javonte and make it for the fact that I went wide receiver heavy early, just go bang bang on running backs, and then from there it's kind of just like pick and choose. And the fact that I got Stowers is why I really punted tight end after that, because I feel like he's going to be something in the future.
Nico, what's your grade?
Should absolutely be the quarterback of the future. Storey just graded it. We're gonna get Jonathan just graded it. We're gonna get Storey's grade in just a second. Henry's got some age on him. So does Williams. Irving, we're expecting to get healthy. You're flexing 2 running backs, but they're very good ones at that, man. On top of your receiver core, they both were A and A minus, I think, from the 2 of you, and I'm right there too, man. This team's gonna compete this year. You did give up a little future, but you got guys that are just stacked, man. Ready to roll. There's a little hopefully Bucky is healthy. There's a little hopefully Herbert takes the next step with McDaniels. Quinshon touchdown upside for Cleveland scares me a little bit. Henry's age at some point is going to fall off. Puka's got some off the field shit that's sus. So you got a few question marks, man. But ultimately, I'm a A minus B plus all day on this squad, dude. This is a tight ass team, man.
Yeah,
really quick,
Rob. What are you
giving
it?
I'll go ahead, Rob.
I'm gonna go A minus to B plus as well. I mean, the biggest issue is I hate having all the running backs in the flexes, but they're good running backs. It gives you a lot of flexibility. Missing the draft picks is an issue, but he does have. I love Coker, Horton, Williams, Ted Hurst, Jordan Addison. Like, we're gonna get to our squad here in a second. Story. Our bench is nothing compared to this. I like our lineup better than this in a PPR, but he has flexibility, and the draft picks, like he said, won't hurt him because he has so much young talent. So B plus, A minus. If there's a grade between those, A minus minus, I'd probably give it. It's very good. It's very good. It's complete. It's good all around.
So
he'll be a playoff team.
He
will be a playoff team this year. I guarantee it. He will be a playoff team this year. He'll have some pieces to move. He's
that's the
pretty,
thing,
man. Dude did it right. I like to think he's one of the elite in this league, man. He's one of the top 4, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like really quick. One of the reasons why I jumped at getting to the 6 and taking Bucky is if he ends up panning out to what he used to be, then that leaves me room to trade off of Williams or Henry for a first round next year. If somebody really needs a running back to compete towards the end, so they have something for playoffs. That's kind of like what I looked at that point, so I can get some kind of capital back if I wanted to. Like if we get towards the end of the year and I know it's going to be like a top 5 pick in that class. That's kind of like where my thinking was with grabbing Buggy, but who knows?
All right, can you guys sign off, Jonathan? We have to get to the Chaz and Ray.
Yeah, Jonathan, thanks for coming on. So we're gonna move on now. Again, we all like your team. Good luck. Thanks for being part of the community. We will talk to you soon.
For sure. Later, guys.
Later, brother.
Later, buddy. Sorry you couldn't hear me. We'll talk soon. All right, we have Ray is not in the thing yet. I sent him an invite. But we have the Chaz to represent the team real quick. What's going on, Chaz?
I don't know if there's an issue, but I haven't muted Rob or anything, but I still can't hear him. So I just got.
Oh, Rob, what's the problem, bro? You don't like anybody tonight, you fucking dick.
I don't get it. I'm coming through. Everyone else can hear me. So this is just really, really weird. You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to leave the studio and then, yeah, fuck. If I leave the studio, the team will go away. Either way, I'll be back in 1 second. I'm going to join back up and make sure this works. So it's not my fault. You sons of bitches.
I blame everything on you.
So talk with the Chaz for a second.
All right, the Chaz for a second.
All right, Chaz, where the hell did your team go?
Yeah, no, he can't see the team. We're not going to see the team while Rob's out of it, man.
Yeah, Chaz, what's your team name? I'll read it off for the folks at home. Chaz, can you hear me? Uh-oh.
I don't think he can.
Uh-oh. Can you hear?
I think Rob dipped, and now we all dipped.
Nick, can you ask him if he can hear you?
Chaz, can you hear me? No, man. You can't hear either one
all
of
right.
us.
I'm here.
I think Chaz might be frozen.
Chaz is frozen.
Yeah, he might be frozen. We're all here. He'll be back. Let me see if I can set all this up real quick again.
I gotta pee real quick again.
There we go. Me and Storey can regale everybody. Let's see. Get Chaz. And here he is. There he is. Hey, what up?
Chaz, can you hear me?
Are you good?
Man, I don't know if it's something with.
You can't hear. I don't think you can hear us.
This is super unfortunate because it was going on really,
I was
really
able to hear you
smooth.
guys backstage, and then I come out here and I can't hear any of you guys. I don't know if it's
Give us a thumbs
thing.
up if you can hear us now. Nope, can't hear us.
I don't know if
All
you.
right,
I mean,
give us a
apparently you guys
second.
can hear
Give
me,
us a
but
second.
I can't hear any of what you guys are saying. I don't know how this is happening actually.
Hold on.
Let me
Let
try
me get
with
the thing back up
No
here.
headphones at all, I guess.
Yeah.
No,
Rob,
because Jonathan couldn't hear us either. So
Rob, what's his team name? He could. So that's weird because Jonathan could hear me and Nick.
here we go. Hold on. I'm gonna get this back up here and get the proper setup. This really sucks. I think it was this one. There we go. All right, he's back in here. Let's see if he can hear us. You know what? I am too Amish for this. I see a lot of Chaz's in here. That's another Chaz. We don't want that Chaz. There's too many Chaz. Chaz, are you in here? Do you hear us? There, hold on.
Hello?
Remove this
what'd
one.
you do?
There we go. Are you hear us now? Do you hear us now, Chaz? Are we good?
Man, I was good. You put me on for a second. I was able to hear all you guys, and then again, I'm just not able to hear you guys. I don't know what's going on.
Let me remove you real quick
Nothing on my
and
fingers.
rejoin. Rejoin.
Yeah, he's good though. I thought we had him.
No, we can hear him. He just can't hear us. Hopefully this works. Let's try it now. Anyways, I'm going to get to Chaz's team, and we can talk about it. Ray should be in here shortly. I don't know what the hell happened. Nothing changed on our ends. We're all good because we're the three best friends, you know.
Three best friends that anyone could have.
Three best friends that anyone can have. All right, here we go. So here's a squad, very Bears heavy, and once he joins, we can give him shit about all of his Bears picks. The biggest thing I hated was where's he at? The DeAndre Swift pick for me was the one that threw me off because this team is now. Let's talk about this first. A lot of draft picks. They have 2 picks next year in the first round, and then a second and a third. So they have an extra second in 2028 as well. So they're pretty stacked on picks. This is not necessarily a win now team, but could it win now, guys? What do you think?
No, dude, not with all those Bears players. That's gross. Y'all done bucked up. Genty is fine, but I don't expect him to be a top 5 running back personally. And Swift and Burden and Caleb, like Burden's fine, but he's not Odunze. And Caleb should take a step forward. And Devontae Adams getting another year older. That concerns
You guys
me.
hear me?
Yes.
You hear
I
me?
can actually hear you
You hear me
guys.
talking shit
Oh
about
my
your
gosh.
team, Chaz?
Oh, I
We're
already know
good.
you
We're
guys have
good.
a mouthful for my team. I know you guys are gonna have it.
Man,
The team.
It's all in
It's
love.
interesting. It's interesting. We had
It
our
is.
thing is we ended up with those 3 7th rounders, and that, I mean, as Dakota was saying, there was a huge fall off after there, which I didn't think was going to happen, and that was just an error on our part where, you know, I was hoping we could get more younger guys that, you know, because obviously that's where we were taking our draft plan when we had those 3 7s, and we were just looking at the guys that were there. It was only, you know, the older kind of guys that I felt like where the value was dropping, and it was just like Bucky went in the 6th, like that would have been a great pick for us. Like we were looking at him to maybe drop to us instead of Bashal Tootin. But honestly, we feel like we have like a core 5 here. Like, I mean, we have Genty, Burton, Tate, Loveland as our core 4. They're all 22 and younger. Caleb's obviously 24. We're looking at this as a long-term team. Obviously, probably not this year. If everything falls right with the younger guys, like we trust the Carnell Tate, Ohio State pipeline, which is why we did go a little bit older with those 7th rounders. It's like one of the only things we could do there. Obviously, the glaring thing of having 4 Bears starters is not promising, but it honestly works in both favors for us. We think if either the Bears can somehow score, 32 points a game, that means they're going to be scoring a lot of points. And if not, then our team's not going to be scoring a lot of points. So we're going to have a low max points for, and we're going to have a higher draft pick. So we think it's kind of almost a win-win there in that situation. We just love our core 5, though. We have an extra pick. We have 2 extra picks. We got one 28 second from Mouth. We got a 27 first from the Packers team. So we have flexibility to move around a little bit. Obviously, this year might be a little bit of a struggle, but we think maybe going into next year is when we could start, making moves.
So, Nico, give me your grade on this team. Let's look at the bench real quick first. So, Loveland was taken really early. Let's start there. Was that too early for Loveland?
No, I'm fine with it, man. Loveland or Warren there. I put him in the McBride or Bowers tier already. They've proven enough to me that as far as the tight end position goes, I'm fine with that, dude. I support what they're doing there. The bench, though, leaves a lot to be desired.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Bashal Tootin's super nice, though.
He is, and I was a Tootin truther, but Connor's done. Keon Coleman and Thornton and Kyle Williams and a bunch of those dudes. Malik Willis, I don't believe in. I don't know why you put him on your roster when you already got Goff, who's going to cover you for the next 2 or 3 years. Plus, you got the young Caleb at starting quarterback. So if Caleb falters, dude, you got Goff. So feels like the extra quarterback's a bit of a wasted pick, as Storey would say, even though I have 3 on my team, but my intent was an IR spot. Genty got his last year. I don't expect a shit ton out of Vegas this year as far as the running back position goes. Yep. Swift and Monungai, man, I don't know. I would have just avoided them if I already had Williams and Loveland and Burden and not put anything else in that basket. That is a scary division, dude. Minnesota and Green Bay and Detroit. That's 6 really tough games. I see you finishing middle of the pack just on the fact that you got half of your starters in the NFC North and a really tough division. Going forward, I like it, but I'm a no doomsday truther, man. And I think Rome is better.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. I was tooting my horn on that earlier, man. I'm gonna stay behind that and feel free to talk all the shit when I'm wrong in a couple of years, which I don't think I will be on that one. But either way, I'll own it. Adams, man, a year or 2 left tops. His flexes with Sutton and Pittman are hot, dude. Those are 1A, 1B type receivers. So I like that. I like the Loveland pick at tight end. This is a win now outside of you're in a really, really tough NFC North division, man, which just scares me. And I feel the bench is sus at best. So if I'm putting a grade on this, man, I'm like average, man. I'm putting you at a C personally, just because there's a lot of eggs in one basket.
All right, Storey, what do you got for this squad? I mean, the Tootin pick in Dynasty is great, especially with the news of Chris Rodriguez. But other than that, the bench is sus.
He's certainly steaming up board, so you got great value on him. All signs point to him being the guy, at least for the immediate term, and several years. So this is a bit schizophrenic. This team's a bit schizophrenic to me. I'm not quite sure what you're going for because it was starting out great for the future, and you got guys that could contribute right away, but also long term. Right, Genty, Loveland, Tate, Burden, awesome. Like young guys that could be the core of this team. Then you turn around and you got Adams, Sutton, Pittman, right? Connor, like just guys that are tail end here. So I'm not quite sure. And then you've got these guys I call roster cloggers. Donta Thornton, Kyle Williams. They're never going to crack your lineup. They're name value only. I wouldn't touch these guys with 10-foot pole. I do like Bateman. I think that's a really good value on Rashad Bateman. I feel strongly he'll be the 2 there for a while. I like Mayer as a nice backup piece.
Yep.
Why don't you have anybody else in your taxi squad? You only got Jeremy Bernard on there. I mean, it's free spots. You might as well fill them out.
Yeah, we'll end up filling them. We're still making. I haven't really talked to Ray since the end of the draft. I just know, Ray was also, I mean, not to throw him a little bit under the bus, but he every time there was a pick on the clock, and he'd call me and be like, "We don't have any running backs." And I'm like, I tell him, I'm like, we only need 3. We're not really probably looking to compete fully this year. Like, running backs are the last thing, is what Dakota was talking about. He's kind of has the same mindset as us, and also defending that Willis pick. Where we got him, we felt like, if he starts to perform well on the Dolphins, that could easily be a piece that we could easily trade away, or we're taking a shot on there in order to see if he can play like how he was playing and earn that, whatever it was, $60 million contract. So our bench is obviously not that great, but we're just very happy that we can go into this year being very flexible, having those 2 first-round picks. If we're maybe making a push, we can trade those for, teams that are maybe going to miss the playoffs and go get, another star stud. Or if we're going to be trading away, DeAndre Swift or, Devontae Adams, Sutton, Pittman at the deadline, depending on where our team's at. We feel like we're just at a very flexible spot. And then we have, as I said, those kind of 5 pillars for the future.
Yeah, flexibility is the name of the game with this roster. You got to hope the Bears take a step forward and they become one of the premier offenses in the league. If that happens, you guys are set up well. If they don't, if they tend to languish, sometimes it happens. It's going to be a rough go. I do like the extra picks. So flexibility, C+. I think you need to pick a direction and go with it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my advice. So C+ with potential.
I'm right on lockstep with you guys. Jonathan says, thanks for the kind words and draft grades, fellas. Sorry for the tech problems. Look forward to the first year. I don't think it was on your end because Chaz was having the same issue.
Yeah,
it wasn't on our end either. You know what? It was YouTube's problem. Thank you, YouTube. But thank you, Jonathan. We appreciate you. And then Dakota says, this is a reenactment here. Ray calls Chaz, quote, "We need Bears players, brother," end quote. I wish Ray was here. I'm guessing he probably fell asleep, but we'll talk to Ray here on Saturday night and get his take on the team. So I'm going to give this a solid C as well, but I just don't know. I don't like the picks of Adams. Like, I think you should have just gone full tank mode because you have all the young players. I don't get Adams. I don't get Sutton. I don't get Pittman. I get Sutton for you because you fucking love Sutton. But I just don't get, I like the Jared Goff pick. I love the Tootin pick. The bench has some question marks. I'm going to give it an average grade, but I do love the future of this team. And this is a team where you're buying in on specifically the Bears. You're also buying in on the Raiders with Ashton Genty. Emerging teams, same with the Titans with Colonel Tate, like young emerging teams. In a year or two, with all your draft capital you have too, this could be the best team in the league because you do have pillars. And if the Bears turn into the Lions, this team is super scary. If they turn into just the Lions minor league squad, which is still a good offense, top 10, top 12, it's still a good team. So I give it a C to C plus just because I do see the upside in this. I just don't get I feel like Adams, all it's going to do is just get you 8th place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and there's a chance, Chaz, you're a fucking bright fantasy mind, especially a dynasty mind. So I'm never going to doubt you. And Ray has actually beat me in fantasy more than I beat him head to head. So again, give Ray some props as well. I just, a couple of the picks, DeAndre Swift also, he's not going to be on the Bears in a year. So I just don't get that one, but it's a good team. Chaz, you're coming on tomorrow night. Everyone's going to see Chaz tomorrow night for a quarterback deep dive, 10 p.m. Central. Tune into that. Chaz, we appreciate you. We have the last guest who's going to stick around for a while, and we're going to talk about our team first, Storey, and then Storey's going to take off. Nico, whenever you want to dip, you're welcome to dip. I know you took off work tomorrow. I'm not trying to kick you out. I'm just giving you, a little chance.
No, I appreciate you, brother. My computer just told me it's low battery and time to go. My charging port is my microphone port. They're the same one. So I can only go so long, man. So if I just die out, that's what had happened. But I'm going to run it, dude. I'm going to run it till the end.
He's going to run it. I love it. And here we go. We have, hold on. I have a little intro for you guys. If you don't know who this is the Mouth of the South. Here you go. You're going to love this one.
What's good,
There
Mouth?
he is. Mouth,
What up?
you hear
What
us?
up? What up?
Mr.
Yes,
Nixon.
I can hear everybody. Don't worry. No tech problems. We're all good. What's up, everybody? How are you all doing?
Oh, we're doing great. We're doing
30
great. Mouth, we're going to save your team for last, and Storey has to go after this. So we're going to do our team, and you can help us grade our team. And then we have to do MVP's team. And then we'll do your team last, best for last, but at least for this year. We'll see about the future in your squad. Let's talk about our team,
the
Storey.
best, honestly.
I guess we'll see. There was some surprising teams diving into them more as we did, right? That didn't think I loved as much. So real quick, we have all of our draft picks. We didn't make any moves for future picks. So we have, average to maybe above average because, as we know, a lot of teams that trade their first round picks next year. So, Storey, break down this team for us.
Yeah, we moved around a lot. If you look at the actual draft board, very few of our actual picks in the first few rounds were our picks. We did move around a lot. I'm very happy that we kept our draft picks for 2027. I'd like to get some more if we can, but we'll see what happens. I do have strong feelings about that team. So we're looking at Patrick Mahomes and Dak Prescott as the quarterbacks. I fought you on Patrick Mahomes. I ended up losing that one, so we'll see where that goes. I love these running backs. Gibbs and Walker are the starters. And then on the bench, you got Blake Corum, Quint Allen, Emmett Johnson, Najee Harris, Isaiah Pacheco. I'm not sure. I think that's about it. And then wide receivers starting T. Higgins, Zay Flowers, Devonta Smith, Terry McLaurin, Xavier Worthy, then a bunch of guys on the bench. So strong starting lineup. And, the bench, we talked about it. It leaves a little bit to be desired. I'll be the first to admit that. We did take some shots at guys that have yet to sign with teams, including Najee Harris and Stephon Diggs, hoping that things progress and they end up on teams. They could be assets for us this year. We're trying to push our chips in this year while maintaining picks for the future. We'll see what happens.
Shaheed to me is a giant thing. I know Nico is just salivating at this because, we said we like Torrey Horton as well. Shaheed for me this year is going to be their number 2 and just go nuclear. He gives us a chance for another flex. Our flex is an issue, right? Xavier Worthy, we're buying in on the Chiefs. We also have Blake Corum, who I think has extreme upside. Obviously, if Kyron gets hurt, but I think he could be a weekly flex play. Not ideal in PPR. I understand that. So our strength is really our starting 6, and then Terry McLaurin. So we have a great tight end. We have Patrick Mahomes and Dak Prescott. I think Dak Prescott might actually be in our lineup more, but we have 2 really good options in a 6 for a passing touchdown league. We have Sam Laporta, who we love this year, and he's also 25 years old. Terry McLaurin, who is a play for now. All the other guys are like that. We don't have a young team. We don't have an old team. They're all like 26, 27 years old. But Smith, Flowers, Higgins, and McLaurin is a dope trio with Gibbs and Kenneth Walker. And we have a starting tight end that we love. It's just the flex problem and the bench problem. So, Nico, give me your thoughts on this team, initial thoughts, and we'll get to Mouth.
So right out the gate, excuse me, right out the gate, man, I like Dak. That was the guy we were targeting for our QB1, possibly 2 after we locked up Hurts, and you guys went Mahomes and Dak earlier than I expected. So you're solid there, dude. You're squared away. You don't got anything to worry about for a long time. Those are guys that aired out. Those are offenses that got big arms. Gibbs and Walker, Gibbs all day, dude. Walker concerns me with injury, but we can't play for injury, right? Your receivers are concerning to me. I'm not convinced that you have a wide receiver 1 anywhere, right? You got Higgins behind Chase. You got to scroll. You got Zay, who has been hit or miss with Lamar. And I get he's a wide receiver 1 on his team, but how many times has he finished wide receiver 12 or above would be my question. And then Devonta Smith. And I get A.J. Brown's leaving, but at the same time, given his frame, his stature, his build, Mannion in there, you don't know what they're going to do. They're going to lean on the run. They're going to lean on the defense. I'm a little concerned about Devonta. So looking first glance at your receivers, I don't think you got a wide receiver 1 is my concern right out the gate. Laporta's back injury is an issue, but he's young. He's a tight end. He should be fine. McLaurin, I love in the flex, man. Worthy with the Rice issues, who knows? And I like the double up. I like the Mahomes getting after it. Reed should air it out. So your starting lineup's okay, but again, you got a lot of wide receiver 2s, and if you pair them all together and they conjunctively come out better than a 1, 2, 3 would, I agree with that, right? Like if you got a wide receiver 1, a wide receiver 2, a wide receiver 3, or you got 3 twos is going to come out ahead. So I get it, man, especially with competing this year. Najee, I think, is done. I think that's a waste of a pick. He's not going to play football no more. There's no reason for that. I question the running back depth that you guys have on your team.
True.
But as a whole, if things break your way, this is a championship lineup. This is a championship caliber lineup. You've got guys that are going to get mad volume and mad work and just play it safe and go get you a championship in the next year or two. But after that, your future prospects, I don't know, man. I get a little scared 3 years down the road, but we don't play Dynasty for 3 years down the road. We play it for 1 or 2, right?
All right, Mouth, what do you got?
It looks like me and you were fighting. So you say you have a flex spot problem. I don't see your flex spot problem here. You got Terry McLaurin and Xavier Worthy, and then go down on your bench, right? Let's zoom down on your little bench.
It's not great. It's Blake Corum and Shaheed.
But there's Jalen Noel and Rashid Shaheed. I see that little sneaky Jalen Noel there who's going to maybe catch about 65, 70 balls and about 10 touchdowns. Yeah, Storey. I see you pointing at yourself right there. You know, drafted him and was a smart little cookie to do so right there. And Tyquan Thornton, who's probably going to end up catching about 60 balls himself once Rashee Rice inevitably goes to jail. You know, I really don't see weaknesses on this squad. I really don't. Well, aside from that thing that's at the end
bench.
of the bench.
The bench is the weakness, but here's the problem. Is that's what happens. We took the backups. Well, Emmett Johnson, we have to talk about that later. Well, in the future there, we have the backups for both of our running backs. And Pacheco, we had to take a little early because we're playing for this year. And I know Pacheco's not going to be amazing. I think we all agree he's going to be an RB2 if Pacheco tore his ACL, God forbid. And then Blake Corum is our upside shot, and we're betting on Worthy. So our issue, like I said, is the second flex spot. It's not as great as it should be or could be. But we like the quarterbacks, and we like the Laporta. We do have a pretty elite tight end there in our minds. I know you love Laporta, Mouth.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and Strange is okay as a tight end to bye week replacement, and Lord forbid if Laporta gets hurt. Like, you know, Strange shouldn't have competition this year. You could always just go and fix your tight end problem next year going forward. And Adonai Mitchell's going to be a sneaky pick. He might end up in your flex spot more often than you think.
Yeah, if we could just screenshot the starting lineup, you know, maybe take out Xavier Worthy, I think we're in great shape. Nick, you say we're playing it safe. I say we're playing for upside. T. Higgins is a wide receiver 1 when he's healthy. He's on the field. Zay Flowers was the PPR 9 in points per game last year. It just didn't feel like it because it was pretty inconsistent. If he takes that step forward, we're in good shape. And I think everybody's expecting Devonta Smith to be a wide receiver 1 this year. At least we are. So I think there's –
And we love Terry. I love Terry. I think Terry's a top 15 receiver.
I think he's got a upside as well. But I'm not willing to give this team an A. I don't think we deserved it. I think we're a solid B because the bench is kind of whack, for lack of a better term.
Dude, I love Scary Terry. I love the upside of Higgins, right? Like you got some potential right there, but I'm not convinced that any one of those receivers is absolutely a wide receiver 1.
But they don't have to be because we have 2 RB1s.
And you do. And like I said, you have 3 wide receiver 2s. So when you put them all together, it's a badass squad. So at first glance, you're like, oh, you got no ones. You got no one here. You got no one there. Like, I don't think Walker is going to be an RB1. I think Gibbs absolutely will be.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
But you guys can what's the word? Shit. You put it all together. Conjunctive something word. Fuck. Sorry, help me with my words again.
Conjunctivitis? What are we talking about?
I don't know. You put them all together, you average them, and you come out with a badass fucking top score. And you guys are going to have one of the best teams in the league. You're going to be in the playoffs, and you're going to be competitive for the championship. And it's not because you have any standout candidates outside of Gibbs. Like, Gibbs is your only standout. The rest, like, you built like this. He's good.
That's not true. Mahomes,
they're great, man. Like,
Mahomes is a standout.
A sneaky good job, man.
Yeah, Mahomes is his standout. His quarterback is his standout candidate. His quarterback is his biggest standout candidate this year. If his quarterback hits, he wins the league. To be quite honest, if Mahomes hits, he wins because
or Dak. I think Dak might be in our starting lineup more early.
Well, at least week 1. I mean,
if Dak is in your starting lineup, I think you lose. If Mahomes is in your starting lineup more often than not, I think you've won the league because then that means Worthy's scoring points and Worthy's hitting your starting lineup every week. And if Worthy is hitting your starting lineup every week along with Mahomes, you've won the league. So based on build and the way that went, along with the savvy late pick Storey made, and the fact that you could probably bunch a bunch of your draft picks to maybe get the number 1 pick in next year's rookie draft, B+.
Storey,
because that's what I think you're trying to do.
Yeah, I give it a B. I think
Jadarian Smith is your target, is it not, Storey?
What's that?
Mr. Smith next year, the number 1 wide receiver prospect is not.
Yeah, we're
Jeremiah.
Not
sorry.
I mean, he's going to be on my team, brother. Don't get it twisted.
We're probably trading our first round pick. We're going all in this year with this team, so we have all our draft picks.
You're not getting Jeremiah Smith. I will say this team is the definition.
I got
of
so many picks. I will get Jeremiah Smith next year. Storey bet.
Nico, what is your grade? Nico, what is your grade for the squad? Did you give us one?
I did. It was A-.
Oh, A-.
Yeah.
I'm going to go B to B+. I think it's a fair team. It's a very well-balanced team, but the bench is a problem. We have security with our running backs at least, so we don't really need the extra at least for this year. Down the road, we have issues, but we have all our picks at least. That is kind of the feather in our cap. Like, you would think building a team like this that's in a win-now mode, we would have given up something. A lot of teams did. We didn't. So we have that ability to either, I don't think we're going to, totally bottom out this year, but maybe if our running backs or receivers get hurt, we can get back to a rebuild mode. So there's some flexibility in this squad. B to B+ for me. Mouth, what do you have for your grade?
Like I said, B+. I think if Mahomes and Worthy hit, you've won. If Mahomes hits, that means Worthy hits. If Mahomes and Worthy hit, you've won the league. Because everything else that you put in your starting lineup is a almost guaranteed slam dunk.
You got too many pieces in the same basket. It's my concern, man. If the Chiefs don't show out, that hurts.
Yeah.
I just always say this. If Patrick Mahomes is an all-time player, if he's done, he's done. We said this about Tom Brady for years. We said this about Matt Stafford. Look at Sam Darnold and Geno. Look at Geno Smith. Geno Smith sucks ass, and he had a resurgence in Seattle. Andy Reid's still there. I'm just going to bet on – this is what I told Storey. I was like, let's just take – it seems too easy. Patrick Mahomes – should have been a top 3 round pick if you drafted 2 years ago, and he's only 30 years old. I'm just going to go with a lot of averages and Patrick Mahomes. I'm not even a Mahomes fan, but apparently I am now because everyone hates
you have enough. But you have enough backup on your bench to make up for it and still get second or third.
All right. Storey, you got to get out of here. And we're not going to see Mike Storey for a while. So everyone say bye. You'll see him in a couple weeks. He has a long vacation planned. Much deserved, buddy. Have some fun with your wife, both in and out of the bedroom, please. And enjoy Disney World.
Appreciate it. Mouth, good to see you as always. Nico,
definitely. You did a great job on this team, Storey. It was fun drafted against you, good sir.
It was a blast. I'll bounce into the chats when the wife's sleeping a couple times next couple weeks.
Sweet, man. All right.
Bounce into your wife while she's sleeping. Not in
whoa. That's your wife, so it's fine, right?
Consent is a wonderful thing, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm out.
Consent is a wonderful thing.
Well, when it's your wife, though, it is always consent, right? I would hope.
You can't.
They do have laws about that in certain states, like the one I'm in. So consent is a wonderful thing.
Blake, we're going to get to your team after we get to MVPs. We have to get to MVP's team and then Blake's, and then we're going to finish out with Mouth's squad to end it off. So this is MVP's squad, the GOATs. This is, I'm pretty sure, a rebuild team because he has, let's see his draft picks here. He has a first, a second. So he has an extra pick this year. Let's see what he has here. He says, he has my main strat was grabbing a cornerstone at each position, then focusing upside sophomore/rookies that either fell in ADP or ones that I liked and made some dumb trades. But I like how young my squad is. So
your trades were not dumb. They helped me.
So let's get to the team here. Drake May, pillar, cornerstone, super young. Jeremiah Love, who in dynasty purposes is possibly one of the top 3 running backs. Like, I feel like he fell too far. Cam Scatterbo, super young. JSN, Jaden Higgins, Omar Cooper, George Kittle, J.K. Dobbins, and Matthew Golden. So the starting lineup is rough for like win now, but the pillars, Drake May, Jeremiah Love, Cam Scatterbo, JSN. Those 4, the top 4, as elite as it comes in dynasty. Nico, do you see it that way?
No, not with Scatterboo, man. With JSN and Love and May, yes. But I got no faith in Scatterboo.
I have some faith in Scatterboo. I mean, he's not completely done. I mean, look,
2 years and be out the league, man, is my concern.
You said in about 3 years, but we played Dynasty for 3 years, right?
Yep, 2 to 3 years is all we're playing for.
So by the time Captain Crayon is done munching his last Crayola in a New York Giants locker room, he will have served his purposes for MVP.
Quite potentially, yes.
And super young. So the wide receivers are this year, again, not ideal, but Jaden Higgins, second-year player, Omar Cooper, rookie, high draft capital, Matthew Golden, former first-round pick in a thinned-out receiver room. Let's look at the bench. Mendoza, really like that, paired with Drake May. Tyrone Tracy, you have the whole Giants backfield. Nick Singleton's a guy we all love, like, to death. So this might be a starting running back by the end of the year. Elijah Surratt, mouth is hard right now hearing this. And then Jake Tunges. So you have the Jake Tunges and George Kittle thing. So you have the tight end there for the 49ers. Drew Aller, Taylor Green, and Xavier Thomas from the Bears. Young quarterbacks. So you have a lot of young quarterback capital. What do you guys think about the young players, though, in particular? Jaden Higgins, Omar Cooper, Matthew Golden.
He's picked well for picking young players that will have roles going forward on their teams. His bench looks very nice. I like the bench. I like where MVP went with this bench because this is the type of bench that accelerates rebuilds. This is the type of bench where at least if half of it hits 2 years down the line, you've accelerated your rebuild and you can miss on rookie draft picks and you don't have to get every one of your rookie picks right. Now you have assets you could trade. If things going forward, you could trade assets to get the more veteran players on your team. This is the type of bench that, somebody could pick off of if they feel that they're behind, MVP, let's talk. If we're behind in our future, if a certain win now team feels like they need to accelerate a rebuild, this is the type of bench you'd like to maybe get some cheap rookies off of.
Max Clare, Chris Brazel, Elijah Surratt. I love all those players, man. I mean, this is the definition of, and he still has most of his picks, right? So he still has Jonathan's first, second. So he doesn't have his own picks, but he has first-round picks, and he doesn't really need them because he has so much young talent. So his team will come into its own. Nico, what are your thoughts on the team as a whole? Obviously, it's not necessarily a win-now team, but having JSN, having Love, having Drake May, and I like Cam Scatterbo personally, and George Kittle will give you some nice punch at tight end. You're a Niners guy. You love that.
I don't see this as a win now, man. I
Not at
love
all.
JSN a lot, right? In love with his future prospect in May. The value where they locked up the San Francisco tight ends is amazing. Both of those, that was kind of one of my plans, and it just didn't shake out that way. So it is what it was. But mad respect for Kittle and Tonjes. Scatterbo, the way he plays, I don't give him more than 2 years, but like we said, we don't play fantasy longer than that. This team might be taking a little longer view. J.K. Dobbins, I don't think plays more than half a year. Golden, I got questions to whether he's going to be the receiver going forward there. I know they just paid Watson and Green Bay. Typically, you got Love, you got a good young quarterback.
They paid Watson and Reed both.
But I'm not a huge Golden truther there. Higgins, I'm down on. If you scroll down a little bit, man, I can't read on the left, Rob. Sorry. The right side is where I can get it. Jaden Blue is a maybe prospect down there. Singleton, I like a lot in the long term, but you got to give me at least 8 weeks. Jalen Royals was one of the guys I targeted late, and he went before I got a chance to get him. I love the stash there. I love the Surratt stash there. Brazel. I got Tetaroa, so obviously I'm not going to be in on him on my team, but I like him going forward. So I like a few of the young pieces that they got on the bench there, but as a whole, this team's got a lot of question marks. I don't think they're competitive this year. They got to move some pieces around to be competitive going forward. There's some prospects, but I'm not banking my dynasty on the prospects that this team has, dude. I'm a D-ish, C-ish team. Letter grade on this team, man. If I'm being
Rob,
honest.
Pull down for a sec. I want to see. What's that taxi squad looking like?
It's 2 quarterbacks, Taylor Green, Drew Aller, and Xavier Thomas. So, again, just super young, super raw, but this is all upside young players. So, again, this year, guys, it's not going to happen, but he has draft capital.
What's Aller doing there? You see, here's where I'm going to mark it a C now, because if you're doing a rebuild, you got to do it right. Aller shouldn't be there. You don't need him. Taylor Green could be a quarterback, could be anything. I love him, and him being on your taxi squad, that's the kind of player that should be on a taxi squad. Like that is perfect. Put him there, wait and see. Xavier Thomas is another one. The other player I would have loved to see on your taxi squad is Max Clare. That would have been the guy I would have loved to see on taxi squad spot 3, and then you could have went to the waiver wire and maybe got a more win now piece that could have maybe helped your team compete a little more this year, maybe damage some of the more win now teams during the season to get them to lose games, to get them to, maybe trade away some pieces, see if you could affect some teams during the season. Because there is strategy that goes on, even if you aren't a win now team. Maybe you want to beat a team here and there to try to get better trade prospects for yourself. Like, you got to think like a GM.
I'm going to give it a C+, just based on the fact he had a strategy. The strategy was draft as many young players as I can. I'm playing for the future. He still has draft capital in the future. So the fact that he didn't, how I kind of punished Chaz's team for having like Devontae Adams on it. He didn't make any, besides George Kittle, and you have Tungus to have the insurance down the road, especially. He had a plan, and I'm gonna give him some props for that, because there is a plan on this team. It's just not it's not winning this year, which is fine. And there's just upside with Higgins, Omar Cooper. If let's say Garrett Wilson continues to be frustrated, if they bottom out, maybe he's gone. Omar Cooper's a 1. Like Matthew Golden has another. You said they paid the other guys. Well, they weren't first round draft picks like Matthew Golden was. So Matthew Golden has that going for him. We love Nick Singleton, Surratt. We love Surratt. Max Clare should eventually be the guy there, probably with Ty Simpson, unfortunately. But we like the player Max Clare and the draft capital he has. So I'm going to go C to C+, just based on the fact he had a plan and he executed the plan. I don't have the patience for it personally, but Jeremiah Love, I think we're all underrating how he is Jahmyr Gibbs in a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
But that's also, Nico, I gave you a C as well. So, I mean, C's are not this is a room full of sharp ass people with a hell of a lot more experience than me at this. So a C is not a crap ass grade in this room. So, a C means you have a shot at winning a title within 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, it's a D- for this year, but it's a B+ for the future. So I'm going to average that out of C. Campbell says, can't wait to see those Spurs beat the Knicks by 15 Saturday, Mouth. Got the board back going.
I really don't understand why I tried to give you 4 chances to get out of that bet.
I can't wait to see how it plays out. Someone's winning, someone's losing. We got to get into Blake's team here. And then we got Mouth last. So Blake is...
Blake, the media manager. What's up?
Yeah. Shout out, Blake, media manager. Hopefully he's still on here. Sorry it took so long. You have one player you have to drop, by the way. He has some Packers on his team. Here we go. Jordan Love at quarterback. We have a Marion Hampton and Saquon Barkley at running back. That's a badass duo right there. Malik Neighbors, Christian Watson, Wan'Dale Robinson, Tucker Kraft, Travis Etienne, and Chuba Hubbard. So you have 3 RB1s. At least like Etienne's a fringe RB1 in terms of redraft this year. So for the win now situation, 3 RB1s. I like that. Malik Neighbors, it's a question mark, but he's 22 years old. Down the road, love that pick. Watson, Wan'Dale Robinson, Chuba Hubbard. So 2 running backs in the flex. Chuba is not long for this job, but for this year, it's going to help you. So this team is going to be competitive this year just based on having Hampton, Barkley, and Etienne. Nico, do you agree with that? Those 3 guys with Neighbors and Christian Watson?
I love the Hampton pick. I really hoped he'd slide to me, and he didn't, and I understand it. Having Hampton and Barkley, I think Barkley's looking at a bounce-back year, so those running backs are stacked AF, dude. That's 2 top 5 running backs, in my opinion. I'm not a huge Jordan Love fan, but he should finish as a QB1. Malik Neighbors, I'm very concerned that they're signing 97-year-old OBJ and 47-year-old Juju Smith-Schuster.
You should be.
Who's the Arios? Like, the dude should be bagging groceries, right? Like, I'm scared about Neighbors' knee. Watson, he's getting his up there, man. He got paid. That's fine. You got Etienne, who should be the starting running back down there. I like that in New Orleans. That's a weak division. Scroll down a little bit for me so I can see the rest. Tucker Kraft was a reach, dude. Sorry. That was like one of my 2 biggest reaches in this draft was where you went and got Kraft. And Hubbard, I love Carolina. I love Hubbard, but he lost touches last year to Rico. I think it was more because of injury than anything else. I don't think Jonathan Brooks is going to be anything until he is something. So prove me I'm wrong is where I feel with Brooks right now. Murray's a deal, dude. Murray did his thing, man. He ran, he threw, he's short AF, but you got a good coordinator / head coach up in Minnesota that's going to get the best out of him. So as a starting lineup, man, they're pretty stacked. The bench is getting pretty light. They stole some guys I liked, like Flournoy and Fields. There were some guys that were on my radar. But as a whole,
Shakir, Quentin Johnson, Goddard, though, like this bench is actually pretty good. Malachi Fields, Flournoy,
it is.
Chris Rodriguez, Kyler Murray was probably the value of the draft, like you were mentioning. He was free.
Yeah,
this is the definition of all in terms of roster from top to bottom.
What's his picks like? He has all of his picks. So
yes, he has all of his picks. So all of his picks. So everything from top to bottom is literally all in, and he could just pick his future. This is a B. I like it. In terms of construction, I mean, the only thing that concerns the hell out of me is that you picked Malik Neighbors when that should have been CeeDee Lamb. And I remember this moment in the draft when you picked Malik over CD, and then you then proceeded to pick an entire win now team. That made no sense to me because I was really, and I'm in New York. I'm a Giant fan. I'm following this. He's not going to be. In fact, it's looking like he might not even see the field till week 5, and then not be back up to full speed till week 7. Like, the only reason to me this team's not an A is Malik Neighbors is your wide receiver 1. Man. And now that's going to be Quentin Johnston, and you're moving Christian Watson up to wide receiver 1, and that's going to ding you. And that's the one big problem with this win now roster that I've got.
If Neighbors isn't there, dude, you're sussed, man. It's gonna be sketchy. But that being said, me and my co-manager, we were Neighbors, CD, or Amon-Ra. That was the 3 we were deciding between, and we ruled Neighbors out because of knee, and we ruled CD out because of age and Pickens if he stays there versus Amon-Ra. But shit, dude, Neighbors was right there. Like I can't get mad at that pick, dude. Especially when you made it.
Here's the thing. I understand what Mal's saying is This is also right before the really bad news about Neighbors came out. If you remember, we started this draft almost a month ago.
Yeah,
and right after he made the pick was when the bad news of Neighbors started trickling in.
Whatever.
The upside of Neighbors so in Dynasty, if I'm not looking at this year, if I throw this year out, which obviously we're not doing, but let's just do that exercise. I want Neighbors over Lamb in Dynasty.
Yes.
The only issue is this going to be something that's going to hamper him long term? Does this make his career shorter? Is he ever back to full strength? We don't know those answers. What we do know is that the start of the year is going to be rough. Whether he plays week 1, which I would probably, if I had to bet right now, he's in the field week 1, I'd probably bet no. I'd probably put it like a 40 to 6. There's still a chance though, because George Kittle might play week 1.
No, he's not. He's not going to be out there. Like all the reporting is saying he's not.
I know, but dude, we've heard this shit before. I'm not going to go just on beat reports. I understand you're locked in there in New York. I understand that. I saw the video of him trying to run that softball game. It's rough. There's still 3 months of the season. He's still super young. I think that's the upside, but the cleanup surgery, regardless, he's 22 years old. So this team's good. I don't like Wan'Dale Robinson. I don't like Chuba Hubbard, but I like having Quentin Johnson and Khalil Shakir in PPR as your this is a nice bench. I'm going to give this one a solid B, but there's some risk here because Jordan Love, Tucker Kraft coming off ACL, Malik Neighbors currently injured, Saquon Barkley's age, Amarian Hampton in possibly a 3-way committee. I'm not very high on Amarian Hampton this year. Like, I'm going to have him outside my top 12 running backs, I think.
That's disgusting. Amarian's a monster. You shut your dirty mouth.
Everyone's drafting Keaton Mitchell in best ball, and I think Kamani Vidal is still going to be on the field in third downs.
It's going to be a 3-man committee. I just think they're each going to get like 13 touches because Mike McDaniels is crazy.
Well, that's not good. But I mean, I guess on the surface, taking away my personal opinions about some of these players and going on consensus and what's most likely to happen, Hampton's a fine pick. Barkley, ETN, that's awesome. Those 3 are awesome. Chuba's fine early in the year. Watson just got paid. Watson is the one there. Tucker Kraft, I'm the highest on Tucker Kraft in the world. I think he's the second best tight end in the NFL. Yeah, better than
he's backed himself up at wide receiver though on the bench too, like Quentin Johnston. That cures anything that we've all been saying.
So what is it? I'm sorry. Did you give a grade on this team? You gave B plus B.
Yeah, I gave it a B plus because I would have said A if the pick were CD Lamb and not Malik Neighbors. Because everything he did afterwards looks like win now. Because to me, once you pick Malik, especially, I've been telling everybody on this channel about Neighbors for a while before the news came out. Like, I'm surprised people didn't avoid him like the plague.
Yeah, you were on this in February before the news even came out. So, I mean, I guess we'll see. Let's move on to your team, Mouth, the last team to go over here. A win now team, a team that you actually recoup some of your draft capital, but you don't have much. Let's check that out first and foremost. Yeah, you have a third rounder next year. That's it, which is Jay's. You have a second rounder. You don't have any first the next 2 years. So that's an issue. But you have a lot of young players that you like. We have to see about. Let's go over this team. Joe Burrow, you traded up for 6 for a passing touchdown league. Absolutely love it. Bounce back. CMC, Stevenson as your running backs. Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb. That's fucking scary. Mike Evans, pretty much a 1-year rental, but fits with your team. Mark Andrews, Jaden Reed, and Chris Godwin as a starting lineup. Let's just talk about that. Nico, give me your take on this lineup before you fall asleep.
Man, and 1, I'm going to fall asleep. 2, I have 5% battery left on my laptop. And like I said, my mic pulls from my charging port, so I cannot charge while I talk. That being said, Mouth, dude, you got some old motherfuckers rolling out here. You're going to win right now, or you're going to win in 5 to 6 years, dude, is my concern. You went hard. You had some aggressive trades. You gave up what you thought was appropriate to go get your guys, man, and I got mad respect for that. The double up with Burrow and Chase, if they're healthy, is disgusting. Having CD as your wide receiver 2, just get the fuck out of here, dude. That's a wide receiver 1. Like, okay, so you got 2 wide receiver 1s with Burrow, with McCaffrey, who very much concerns me given his touch.
That was the one thing
I have
was so mad at that.
To stay healthy this year, dude. I'm sorry. And I saw some of the chat back and forth with your Ramondre pick versus my Trayvon pick. I think I got 60% of that backfield, and you got 40% of that backfield, but that's just my take. If you scroll down a little bit, man, I can't see nothing past CD over his head. Mike Evans, wide receiver 1 in San Francisco. Mark Andrews, tight end 1 in Baltimore. But you don't know with Monken and Harbaugh being gone what Andrews is exactly going to be. Reed, wild card. Godwin, wide receiver 1 or 3 on that
Wide
team.
receiver 1.
It's hard
he
to
is
say.
gold jacket, wide receiver 1.
Buka's a monster. Evans is gone. Godwin should see his as long as he's healthy. So the fact that you're flexing wide receiver 1 on his team, I see 3 WR1s on your team all day, potentially 4 of them. That is some pillar players, man. Andrews is old as shit, but with likely being gone is the tight end 1 there. And I don't know where that team's going to go, but they don't have a bunch of good wide receivers. Reed, I'm sus on, dude. Milrose, whatever. Shuck is a steal of the draft, dude. As late as you got him with his future, I love it. Scroll down a little bit more, Rob. I got Shuck as last I can see. Oh, dude, your Brooks trade tripped me out. I don't know why you traded for a guy who may never play a snap, a guy who barely played a snap. But we got to get behind our guys sometimes, I guess, is it. RJ Harvey is a steal. I'm about that, dude. I love him and Dobbins. I don't think the rookie's going to do anything there. The Jalen McMillan pick scared the shit out of me too. I honestly felt like that was a bit of a reach. And the rest of your draft kind of was what it was, man. I don't know why you took that many tight ends. I like Arroyo, man. I loved him in Miami. I like his potential, but he appears to be behind Barner. Sadiq and Taylor are going to compete, and I would have left Arroyo and Sadiq on the wire, took some other talent, and just took Chig, dude, for your tight end too, and put some other talent on the back end of your squad personally. But that starting lineup, man, is sick as fuck. So you're going to compete this year, and you're maybe going to win, maybe not. I don't know, dude. But I think you,
Rectangle
Rob,
of doom. They either stay healthy, and I win, or one of them, or they get hurt and I die. That's how that works.
They do.
Sadiq was not meant to play this year. Like I drafted Kenyon Sadiq with the absolute understanding that he was for my future. That was the entire purpose of him. So
But
Andrews, Chigakwankwo, and Arroyo were more.
Yeah. I don't know what Taylor's going to be. I don't know what Arroyo is going to be. Like those are what ifs, and I don't care about tight ends, man, all that much Dynasty. But you shot your shot, dude, and mad props to you for doing it. You should be a top 4 team. You know, you're in the playoffs all day, honestly, this year. And like we said, I think it was Jonathan and Derek and me and you and Rob, and I forget who the other one was, but I got a pretty good handle on the top 4 to 16 in this league when I broke it down. And the rest are playing.
Did you just throw your own team in there? Your team that's playing for the future in there?
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, I'm making the playoffs. Are you kidding?
There's a chance. I mean, if you do, then it's we're all in trouble because your team is built for the future. So that would be super impressive. I'm not, you and Tom are I think Tom is probably the smartest fantasy mind that we have on this program, and I'm including myself, Storey, you, Mouth, everyone. Like Tom is the most legit.
Dude,
right now, I feel like I'm in a graduate thesis almost. Because really, the way I went about this is I am the newest at this, right? I'm the newest at all of this. So the one thing I knew how to do was trade. That's the one thing I knew how to do. And I'm like, okay. The only way I'm going to go about this is to pick out where the players I want are. So if I go about doing that, that's where I settled on round 1, round 8, and the other rounds where I picked lots of people. And I did want 3 picks in round 24 because I wanted to make sure I grabbed certain people at the end.
Campbell, Mouth is the newest at fantasy, so he knows ball. He's a huge NFL fan, but in the fantasy angle, specifically Dynasty, he would be the newest at this. But, knowing ball is knowing ball. And you know what? We laughed at all your trades, Mouth, for the beginning part of them, and then you went from losing trades horribly to, like, making even trades. So the last 3 trades, I think you won. And it all evened out, and you made it work. It's a win now team. I mean, Joe Burrow, Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Evans, even Stevenson, RJ Harvey's fine. So you have some future. You do have a little bit of future, but it's not going to be enough if these guys, if you don't win in the next 2 years, it's not going to be enough to win in the next 2 years after that with the draft capital. Right. But you can definitely be back in a couple years. But this is a top 3 team for win now. It might even be number 1. It should be number 1 based on what the moves you made.
The running backs are scary, but I think the quarterback and wide receivers can carry them is my concern. And that's a B plus for right now. Like, if we're not looking at short versus long or whatever else, you're one of the 6 making the playoffs this year. I don't see how you're not.
Dakota said this team will beat Storey's team, so he's saying it'll be our team. As currently constructed, I can't really argue with you. The difference is that we have a lot of ammunition that Mouth doesn't have. So Mouth's team, I mean, unless you trade some of your younger players, you're not going to get bangers for Deion Burks, for instance. Like, we have first-round picks we can literally throw at whatever we want to do if we need to kind of get more ammunition. I hope it doesn't come to that because I want to still play for the future because I hate having a dead weight team for 2 years. But that's Dynasty sometimes. So we're going to have to make some decisions. Nico, you have a lot of future on your team. This is a good squad, man. I commend you for how crazy – this roller coaster ride was for this team, all the trades, and
I wasn't alone. Understand. I was not alone. I did have a co-manager for this. Me and the Beast of the East, Jonathan Periente. You see, the way we worked was I play GM. Oh, by the way, thanks for throwing that up. Me and Beast, we do host a little pod called Downtown Sports. We had a plan going into this. He's coach, I'm GM. Although he told me what players he wanted, exactly how he wanted to go, exactly who we wanted on the squad, and what rounds he really wanted to pick in. So I said, okay. And I went about and got it done.
Yep. Dude,
and there was and you see, like, because I don't want to throw Chaz and Ray under the bus, but I remember talking to Ray, and I remember talking to Ray back and forth here during the draft process, and how him and Chaz could never get in touch with each other to have conversations about picks, and then auto picks happened and stuff like that. The way me and Beast worked with each other, we empowered each other to make the moves that we felt that we needed to make, so that we could just get what we needed to get done. Was there picks that I made that I felt that, maybe I wouldn't have, that Beast didn't necessarily agree with? Yeah, but like, if I felt like I needed to make that move right then and there, I made it, and he trusted me to do it. There were times where I looked at my phone and all of a sudden there were players on the team that I was just like, okay, but that was the trust that we had in each other. We said, if there was something that we needed to make sure was done, do it. And that's kind of how this mad science experiment came together.
All right, man.
So we have a lot of A minuses in the chat. J Bob says no Eagles players, D minus, kind of tongue in cheek there. So we got an A because we have Devonta Smith. Thank you, J Bob.
There's no Giants players either, J Bob.
What is our official rank on this team? Grade on this team, guys. All things considered, you gotta account for the draft picks in the future of this team, and then the win now, which is apparent.
Oh man, I thought I gave it. I thought it was like A minus, B plus, dude.
Okay, you said A minus. Mouth, what did you give? Sorry, sometimes I zone out.
When I give myself, like, I honestly did not know what to grade myself, because I feel like I felt like I kind of drafted 2 different teams on one roster. Like, I drafted my redraft team, and then I went about drafting a whole bunch of rookies and first round players to try to accelerate a 3-year rebuild process that would culminate with the 2029 draft.
So Dakota says C, go win your title this year, Mouth. And I think he's just kind of punishing you for if this doesn't work, it's going to be real rough. It's going to be like the Rams, but not in real
Yes,
NFL.
Dakota.
Where,
Yes, Dakota. I would that would be kind of the idea.
I'm gonna go. I want to go A-, but I have to punish the no capital. And the old players and in the CMC. I have to, I have to punish that a little bit. So I'm gonna go B, a solid B, just because there is some downside of, as much as I love the young players, I like what you did in the bench. That kind of is your draft capital, but like you can't trade those if some guys go down. So it's good for the future, but you don't. If this is your team, like this is gonna be your team this year, you don't have a lot to give. So that's why I'm going to give it a B. If you just had one first rounder in the next 2 years, I might bump this up to an A because you could really dive into that win now, fuck it mode. And Christian McCaffrey, Stevenson, like there's a chance Stevenson does lose his job to Henderson. I don't think it's going to happen, guys. You know me. I am a Stevenson guy over, not even because I like Stevenson. I think TreVeyon Henderson's not ready, but that could happen. RJ Harvey could be in a 3-way committee. If McCaffrey goes down, like literally you're sitting with Jonathan Brooks, who has also question marks. Again, I love Jonathan Brooks. We drafted Jonathan Brooks, and then you offered us a pretty nice bag for him. But the bench wide receivers, McMillan, like Sadiq, your tight end.
The one thing I'll say is the one thing that everybody seems to be missing on this team. I would like to, by the way, shouts to Jay Bob for that $2.
Here's a chug, buddy. For we definitely met the goal, so I'm gonna give you guys a chug. Go ahead, Mouth.
I'll do that. And I gotta say something. I'm surprised that everybody's missing out on the second-year running back that's gonna eventually replace Chase Brown soon.
Oh, Taj Brooks. They still love Samaje Perine. I like Taj Brooks, but
eventually, like in a couple of years. I'm not talking about now.
Oh, they will draft somebody else.
Taj Perine will ever be a starter, dude.
Samaje Perine is never going to be a starter.
Either one will.
All right. We approaching 3.5 hours, guys. Nico stayed out the whole time.
Nick. Oh,
I'm glad I had you for the end. I knew Storey was going to dip a little earlier, and I wanted you to kind of take us home, and appreciate you as always. Tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Central with the Chaz, quarterback deep dive. Saturday, Big Ray return. And then, Mouth, we got to get a segment together here in the week or two. Storey's gone. Going to need you for something. We'll do a best ball thing, best ball values, something like that. Because you've been drafting best ball with us.
Yeah, I got you.
Sweet.
I love you, brothers. Sweet. I got 1% left on my laptop. I got a dip.
1%?
Yep.
1%. Yeah. We are the ones. We the ones. We're the fanatics. Downtown fanatics.
Guys,
Downtown
check out
sports.
Downtown Sports. Check out Downtown Sports if you haven't already. A lot of you guys, community members, are in here. Hopefully you've subscribed. They're on YouTube now. If you haven't subscribed, I said don't subscribe. Listen, and then you will subscribe. You can do that for me as a personal favor. Also, this is just really fun to have all of you guys on here that support this channel. I can't wait for the redraft leagues, guys. We do still have 2 spots left in the Best Ball League, our Fanatics Best Ball League, and there's 2 redrafts up to join. So we have 7 and 5 spots filled in those. Once those get filled, we'll put 2 more leagues out there. Mal's going to commish 1. I'm going to commish all the rest of them, all on league safe, so you don't have to worry about chicanery with the money. Hopefully you guys trust me.
Don't worry, I'm not controlling your money. I promise you.
Oh, Nico's computer just died. It's all going to be on league safe, so the funds will go there, and payments aren't due until the draft day. So don't worry about that. Just get your spot in now if you're in the Patreon. If you're not in the Patreon, if you're not in the community, we do a lot of things like this. We are very, very, very interactive. You guys get me 24 hours a day. Mouth is very active in the Discord. Storey, all the peeps, as well as Dakota and everybody.
I'll get into a disc fight with you, one-on-one, voice chats. You want it, you got it.
I got a question here. We'll answer this question. Should I trade Singleton for JCM?
Yes.
Who do you want? You want JCM over Singleton?
I want Singleton all day over JCM. I think Singleton is gonna be a good player. I think JCM that gruesome injury he suffered in toward the second quarter of the Super Bowl really concerns me. You know, Singleton, young player just entering the league. I think he's gonna be a star.
Well, I think he has Singleton, so you're telling him to hold on to Singleton. I'll phrase it like this: if you're in a win now situation and you might need this player, the answer is JCM. If you're looking for a future and this guy will never see your lineup this year, I want Singleton over JCM. It's a very wide open backfield, at least after this year for sure. I think it's wide open this year, at least later in the year. So I want Singleton long term. I want JCM short term, clearly, but it's pretty even trade, I would say.
Pretty even, Stevens.
Should I trade Dobbins for Quentin Johnston? I want Quentin Johnston all day over Dobbins. Like, he's a wide receiver.
No. What are you talking about? J.K. Dobbins, for the first 4 games every season, is an all-pro.
Yeah.
If he could just stay on the field for more than 4 games if you took every season that he actually like played games, combined all the games he played together into like an actual career where he never got hurt, he'd be a Hall of Famer. You know that, right, Rob?
Oh my God, yeah, his per game stuff is awesome, and all the injuries. If he didn't have injuries, he'd be one of the best running backs in football. He is super zapped. Although I saw last year he had one of the highest miles per hour ran somehow on a breakaway run, which is mind blowing that happened. One last thing we got to do before we log off. Jonathan wants to know about what you think personally about his team. That I have it up on the board here. That's the Quinshon Judkins, Derrick Henry, Javonte Williams, Bucky Irving team.
That was a B+ in my opinion.
Yeah, it's again, I don't like all the running backs, but you have that security and the fact you have Puka, Ladd, and Ibuka with that bench we had. It's a really good team. This is probably the most well-rounded team in the league.
Although, I mean, you do have some spots on your bench that are weird. I mean, if you like some, if you want some 2026 rookies, for one of those running backs, we could talk.
There you go, buddy. I was already trying to make more trades.
Look,
Hooks,
hey,
it's hard for me to make these calls.
Stack. You pop them, we lock them.
Hooked, it's hard. Hook's Fishing Adventures, I like your name. It's hard for me to make these calls based on your lineup. I need to see it in front of me. So again, Hooked, check out the Discord, check out the Patreon, get in the community. I will help you with all of your Dynasty needs, as well as everyone in here. We just did this 3.5 hour recap show of our Dynasty startup we did. A lot of smart people in the community. So we would love to have you in there. Go to the website, go to the link in the description, sign up. It's literally $5 a month for the Discord, and I will draft your team. I will make trades with you. I will do whatever you need. That's
how lucky are the next question. Dakota? Very extremely. Did you see Kat running up to OG Anunoby, hugging on him last night, going, "I love you," like longingly into his ear during the post-game interview, Dakota? Yeah, I saw that too. They're extremely lucky, but do you know what? Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and
all right, Nixon 5. He called it early on. He's calling it now. That's it for us, guys. Mouth, appreciate you coming on. Everyone else, appreciate you guys coming on. It was awesome stuff. As always, we're going to see you guys tomorrow night. That is going to be 10 p.m. Central with the Chaz quarterback deep dive. So for me, for Mouth, for Storey, for everyone else on here, thank you so much. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks for listening, boys.
Later, guys.